All right, I think we're live. Sorry about that. Mikey, Daniel and Mikey, hi by the way. Apologize for that. I had a lot of technical issues on my end, but we are here now. I probably need to get that updated. But point being, we're here now, and that was stupid and annoying. But again, I guess I'm glad this is happening in the preseason. Colts have scored, by the way, so I need to go ahead and update that. But yeah, it's been an interesting night so far. It has been an interesting night so far. Uh, so I mean, nothing. It's not like we're missing much in the preseason. Just like I said, we really kind of want to. Hi, Mikey. Really want to make sure we have this stuff working for the regular season. But yeah, so but just a basic recap of everything that's happened so far. The Bengals got the ball first, and Logan Woodside basically couldn't get anything done. He took a big sack, and then just wasn't a whole lot that happened there. Since then, the Colts have got the ball, and it really hasn't been a whole lot happening there either. So it's really been a whole lot of nothing happening so far. The Bengals have the ball right now. Travion Williams actually. Okay, so I'm actually caught up now. So boy, that hair looks weird. Joe Burrow's got like the bleach blonde spiky hair going right now. He looks like less like Eminem and more like the vocalist of The Offspring. But yeah, so that all is a thing that's happening right now. But we are caught up. The Bengals do have the ball. The Colts, by the way, they got a touchdown on that drive. Like, they didn't have a whole lot going on, but they did end up, like, it started out good. They had a big pass, but, then they kind of matriculated the ball down the field, and Anthony Richardson ended up finding his guy in the end zone for a touchdown. And, oh, boy. Looks like Logan Woodside got intercepted there, and actually no, I don't think he caught that. Now the Colts player, in celebration ran back to the end zone. I was kind of worried for a second because I'm kind of trying to like jump around. I was kind of worried for a second that it was like a pick six or something, but looking at the replay, that's not an interception. That'll get overturned, so that's something. But hey, Logan Woodside been having an up and down preseason so far, but I do think that the Bengals are going to get this ball back, though. Looks like that is what they're saying. They're agreeing with me on that one. Okay, let me go ahead and pop this chat out. Oh, hey, we got another person in here. King Bozo, is this working? It's working now. Yeah, sorry, bub. I had my internet went out on me. I had some technical difficulties. Subbed like 2 years ago, so what's going on? I appreciate. Yeah. 2 years ago, things were. This channel was a lot different 2 years ago, but still the same basic concept. There you go. Travion Williams gets a pass from Logan Woodside. He picks up a first down, so that's a good play right there. It's me, Chad. I see. I remember you, Chad. You must have changed. Okay. I remember you now. I was about to say, I don't remember anybody named King Bozo, but okay. Yeah, I remember Chad. Okay. All right. Well, okay. So, despite all of the bullshit, we're here now. So, looks like I might actually have this thing working again. So, let me see if I can get this to work. Logan Woodside fakes the handoff. He's got pressure immediately in his face, but he dumps the ball off, and they get a first down right there. Dumps the ball off to 83, which yeah, the Steeler liker. I know. But you're also a subscriber to my channel, so I mean you could like the Steelers all you want. I'll still be Okay, so as you guys can see, I haven't fixed the chat thing yet, um, but you know we're kind of semi. I got a temporary fix right here, so you can kind of see the Steeler liker. Yes, I know, I remember, but it's okay. You're a fan of my channel, so we'll forgive you for that for now, I guess. All right, so that's a handoff of Travion Williams, and that he maybe gets a yard out of that. So that one, they were doing pretty good. Not much out of that one though. Looks like they give Matt Lee more reps, which is good. Y'all might have seen that y'all might have seen that I released my offensive predictions this morning, and I do think Matt Lee is going to play more of a significant role going forward, but not. That doesn't seem like they're quite ready to give him that responsibility just yet. Why did what go back, King Bozo? You mean like the interception because it hit the ground? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Just got finished watching. Yep. So I got a defensive one. I've written the script. I haven't made the video yet, but I got a defensive one after this game. I'm gonna start working on the defensive one, and that should be out. So like cuts are due August 22nd. 22nd. Today is August 22nd. Cuts are due August 27th, and I'm gonna have that coming out. The screen. Okay, so I'm using OBS Studio, or I guess it's OBS, which is something like something Studio. Logan Woodside takes the snap, rolls back, he throws it deep, and that almost laid out and caught by Jermaine Burton, but I don't know. I think that might have been pass interference, but whatever. It's preseason. I don't care. When I'm fixing chat, so I'm using OBS, like Open Broadcasting Studio, I think is what it stands for. So like when I cycle between, when I cycle between scenes, which is kind of how I have this set up, it goes to a different thing, and I don't have my webcam hooked up to the other scene because it's literally just creating this effect that we're seeing with the chat. Unfortunately, it's kind of broken right now because they changed the way that the URLs work. So it's not properly hooked up to it right now, which is why you're seeing the chat feature in this weird, stupid bubble like this. I'm gonna try to figure that. I'm gonna try to get that figured out before the season starts. The problem is, right now, obviously, I'm gonna actually try to, like, since this is the last preseason game, I don't know if I'm gonna have another opportunity to really troubleshoot it. So if I go black again for a little bit, just bear with me while I try to figure out some, like I said, I've been dealing with technical issues all night, so let me try to figure out some of these technical issues. Hopefully we can get it figured out now. That way, when the regular season comes, we don't have these issues. Ride or die for Kyle. Let's go, Mikey. All right, so bear with me a minute. By the way, I have a... What do you have a of? Mikey's a ride or die for Kyle. Let's go. Me too. By the way, I was looking at I was looking at the monetization thing, and I'm like we're like 9 subs away from the first threshold. I mean, we still got to get those public watch hours up, but we're so close, guys. We're so close to being able to monetize this channel, and the reason that's good for you guys is because that means I can focus on the channel more. It's good for me, obviously, because I make money. But if I can get this channel monetized, then I can actually commit to doing it more because I need to pay my bills. I have all advanced classes in school. The comment posted without me clicking the post. All advanced classes in school. That's pretty good. So what's that like? Is that like AP? Like all advanced placement? Like all college credit level classes? I don't know. But either way, that sounds like it's a good thing. So give me 1 sec while I try to figure this out.
How's it going, everyone? John here. Welcome to another OBS Studio tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the custom docs to be able to bring in your YouTube chat, since it's not really integrated, and that's kind of a bust. So what you're going to want to do is go over to, actually you want to go to as Empire pretty current sounds good for current video, head to open the share our bell icon, make sure you want to subscribe for it. But if you guys know a workaround that works better, let me know in the comment section below. I'll give it a try, and if it works a lot easier and a lot better, I have no problem sharing it with everybody else.
Have you ever wanted to put way using OBS and a really cool Chrome extension? So, without further ado, let's crack on. Everyone who does live streams knows it's really important to engage with your live chat. Wow. NVIDIA GeForce Now have taken... Have you ever wanted to put live chat comments on your... In a previous video, I showed a super easy way to add a highlighted chat to your live YouTube stream. You know, a bit like this. Go. Okay, so this use... It's the sort of... You click on them, video chat, whatever, with, and that should then hit a tweet in transparent. So all you need to do. It may already have in there hashtag 1111 or... Hashtag 00. YouTube Studio. Click on YouTube Studio here. YouTube to your users and all of that. To bring energy in your user active. Yes. Check. Pop map up. It's come down to here. Okay, so here we are in OBS, and what we need to do is create a scene. I like to create a scene. So all you need to do there, if you're familiar with OBS, is come down to here, press the plus and create a scene, and you can call that scene anything. Now I've already created one, but you could call it live chat overlay, whatever you want to call it. A scene, a new overlay. Let me just take this out. It's created one here called live chat, a new scene, and then click OK. So I've created one here called live chat overlay. Let me just take this out so we can start from scratch. So here's the scene, live chat overlay, and now we need to add a source. And as I said, we're going to be adding a browser source. So press plus, then click on browser, and then we can call it live chat. Press OK. I've already got one in use because I've done a load already. We'll call it live chat highlight. Okay, so live chat highlight. In this particular case, I've already done one called live chat overlay, but for the purpose of demonstrating how to do this, I'm setting up a new one called live chat highlight. Press OK. Then we want to change the box size to match your screen resolution. So in this case, for me, it's 1920, 1080p. So it's whatever resolution that this main screen behind you that you're outputting to is. In my case, it's 1920 by 1080. Get rid of the custom CSS. Don't need that. And then in here, the URL, we're going to paste the URL that we saved from earlier. So just paste that in. There we go. And then we press OK. And then you have this slightly scary black screen. But have no fear. I'll drag it in here so you can see what I'm talking about. Just make it a bit smaller. If we go back to the pop-up box, when we click on this, you can see the chat pops up. Okay, so it's functioning. Just click on a chat, there we are. A difference to the means and it just pops up.
Okay. I think. Okay. All right. All right. We got that sort of figured out. I got your chats back up. It doesn't look the way I want it to look, but we got the chats back up. I can post I can put those back up again. Okay. So that's solved. I'll have to like fine tune it later, but that's solved. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Let me get back to the game. I did see that the Bengals scored. Anthony Richardson threw a pick six, so pretty good there by Jordan Battle to make that happen. So as we are troubleshooting this, I will go ahead and update this. Good thing it's preseason, but now I think we're officially ready for the regular season now because I've got my chat working again. We can all, like I said, I don't like those colors necessarily. I mean, I don't mind those colors. I just don't think it fits with my theme. So that's just gonna be what it's gonna be right now. I think for this stream, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So we, I think, can go ahead and get back to this game now, which it's currently 3rd and 6 apparently. So what most recently happened? I don't know. Bengals have the ball. Am I way behind? No, because that's got set. Okay, I must be even ahead of ESPN. That's crazy. All right, so it's an attempted pass on 3rd and 6, and that falls to the dirt. So it's gonna be 4th and 6, and the Colts are gonna get the ball back. Okay, so we are caught up now. Logan Woodside can't get anything done on that drive, but for as much as I haven't really seen a whole lot to be excited about so far, for the first time, the Bengals appear to be on pace to potentially win the preseason game. Not that, again, I care, but, you know, it might be interesting if they actually win one of them. I think my dad was texting me earlier. I don't know where my phone is. All right, so that punt's gonna be a fair catch, and Colts are gonna pick it up. So, nothing exciting at all. Let me go ahead and get these rosters up. That's Ryan Recca who did the punt, by the way. It was 55 yards and it was fair caught. So I'd say that's a pretty good punt by him. But again, I don't think at this point, unless he has a great day and Brad Robbins has a terrible day, I'm guessing Brad Robbins is probably going to be the guy. But again, we'll see. All right, so it's going to be a handoff from Anthony Richardson to Hull, number 26. He gets brought down in the backfield. And he ain't going to go nowhere with that. Okay, so I got my rosters up now. Good to see Anthony Richardson healthy. He was one of the quarterbacks I liked the most as far as like the new class goes. And, I mean, he does a lot of running. Apparently the Bengals fans, Bengals players were making fun of him for running so much when they were doing their joint practices this week. But, you know, I think it's whatever works for you. I think that was Jong Meta, by the way, who had the tackle earlier. Muma Jong Meta. Could be wrong. Oh, no, sorry. It was Carlos Johnson. Hey, Mikey. If you can see, I've sort of got it back now. Like, I'm able to highlight your comment now. The problem is it looks weird. It's got like this kind of like aqua green color going on, which isn't the biggest deal in the world. I think I can like fix that. It's just right now it looks like that, which again isn't the biggest deal. It's more of a branding thing, which, you know, as long as it's working, I think that's what matters the most. But I got the thing working again, so chats are back in action. Just help my mom with a plan. Sounds like a plan. Okay. All right. Well, you know, like I said, we're back in action, and hopefully, I think that was the last major technical issue that we needed to figure out for this upcoming season. Because like I've got everything else. I've got the audio properly set up, the video properly set up. Hopefully the internet doesn't do that to me again, and we don't miss part of the stream. I got the chat working, so we can highlight chats at this point. Yeah, not going to be doing Saints-Titans game, just a reminder. I thought about not doing this game, but like I wanted to get on though, because like I said, there were a few issues that had to get hammered out, and I feel preseason's the time to hammer it out. So, but yeah, so you won't be doing the Saints-Titans game. That's fair enough. Yeah. Wasn't for the fact that I'm going to commit to doing what I'm going to commit to doing, I might not even like finish this game, honestly. But like really all we're doing right now is just kind of like looking to see who wins those last few roster battles, which like, you know, does Jackson Carman have a chance at this point? I don't think he does. But, you know, and I think he's pretty much like probably not going to be playing at this point. Like we probably already missed our opportunity to analyze him, but you know, some of these other players, like, you know, with all... Oh, my God. Miles Murphy's out, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that. Probably you two didn't. But Miles Murphy's out for 4 to 6 weeks. He got an injury in practice. All right, Anthony Richardson, shotgun snap. He's going to hand the ball off, and he gets blown up in the backfield by Davis, number 73. Carlos Davis. A big hit right there. That's another guy who I don't think is going to be making the roster, but plays like that, you never know. And again, I haven't made my video yet. I've written the script, but the script is subject to change. So, I mean, you never know. I don't know. I seriously doubt it. But, you know, I mean, you got, like, Miles Murphy's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Jeff Gunter retired. Cam Sample is out for the season. I mean, like, the Bengals, I don't know if, like, I'm just hoping we have, like, defensive ends who are able to play before week 1 gets here. Luckily, the two starters, Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard, are healthy. But, like, we have no depth right now, except for Joseph Osai, which, you know, he's a good player, but, you know, at some point, you're gonna have to have a little bit more depth than that. So I think Carlos Johnson, I think, the 7th round draft pick. He's probably gonna make the team now, most likely, just because of that. And then, by the way, punts away. It's going to be returned by Charlie Jones. He goes basically nowhere. I mean, he goes to the side and runs out of bounds. Maybe picked up a yard or two, but nothing interesting. Defensive end. Here we go. Yeah, Cedric Johnson, I'm guessing, is probably going to make the team now that they're so thin at defensive end. I mean, you could almost maybe make the argument of somebody like Carlos Davis, even though he's not a defensive end, but, you know, defensive interior guy maybe making the roster, and then you just have, you know, more options to kind of go with there. Maybe like an outside linebacker might make the team now, like Mumajong Meta. I mean, like, I didn't think he was going to make the team, but now there maybe is a spot for him if he can really kind of like... Shaka Hayward's another one who could make the team now. Like, I didn't think so, but now with all these guys like who are hurt, like, you never know. Stanley Morgan's on our team, or is he? Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Stanley Morgan. I can tell you I'm not terribly upset that he's not on our team anymore, just purely from a special teams perspective. He was an alright wide receiver, but he also wasn't special. Logan Woodside's going to throw it to Charlie Jones, who gets about 3 yards, gets hit pretty much immediately, but Jamar Chase out there, kind of on the sidelines talking to people. Wish he'd go ahead and sign his contract, but you know, I don't quite know what the holdup is, but it'd be nice if they go ahead and get it done. Dennis Allen's on his last leg. I'm shocked he still has a job, honestly. It's been 3 years since Breeze retired, and I still miss him. Well, you're going... See, this is the thing. Like, when you have a great quarterback like that, you're going to miss him until you find the next guy. All right, Logan Woodside's just got to dump it off short there. And nope. Nope. Cam Grandy maybe could have gotten that first down there, but comes up short. And if you recall in my video, I didn't think there was any chance Cam Grandy was going to make the team anyway. So, yep. All right. So now it's going to be 3rd and 2. See if they can do something here. It's like, I understand Jamar Chase is trying to get his money, right? Like, I get that. As a fan, I would like them to figure it out, please. Logan Woodside rolls back. He throws deep, and he just has to bat that one out of the air. Now, I don't know who he was targeting at that point. Like, I don't know if that was just it was a bad pass, but it was also a bad target. Like, Logan Woodside's not. Logan Woodside ain't the guy. Let's just put it that way. I said Dennis Allen should have got fired 2 years ago. I know you did. I didn't agree with you 2 years ago, but I agree with you now. I do agree with you now. Yeah, well, he's still here because yeah, like I said, I didn't agree 2 years ago, but after that, after he apologized to the Chiefs, or not the Chiefs, the Falcons, that was a terrible punt. Whoever punted that should lose their job immediately. Who was that? It was Ryan Reckow. Okay. All right. Yep. Ryan Reckow, pretty much. I think he's. I definitely think that's Brad Robbins' job. Now, that was a terrible punt. 29-yard punt. 29-yard punt. They've got the ball at the 30. Like, good God. Like, Brad Robbins did some things like that last year. He had a lot of problems, but like, you don't replace him with somebody who does the same thing. So yeah, I'm officially, after that punt, I'm officially off the Ryan Reckow train. I am all in on Brad Robbins. That was a terrible punt. I don't know what you're doing, dude. 29 yards. And that was in good punting position too. Like, I mean, you don't want to be at your own 42, but when you're at your own 42 and you're punting from there, you better pin them. They got the ball at the 29-yard line. Terrible. Do I want Lou Headley? Well, I don't know. Like frankly, I just want Brad Robbins to develop. Like, you know, I don't necessarily like if we found somebody who was substantially better than Brad Robbins, then I think it would make sense to go ahead and move on from Brad Robbins. But no, like, I mean, I still believe that Brad Robbins could be a good punter. He just needs to develop, right? So do I want Lou Headley? I mean, like, I'm guessing since you're saying that, he must not be very good. So probably not. But, I mean, unless he's like an elite punter, I don't really want to replace him with... I don't really want to replace Brad Robbins with, you know, if there's like, if you could go get somebody who you know is going to be great, then sure. But other than that, like, we drafted Brad Robbins, and he's all right. He's got potential. So, for a 2059 7th. Okay. All right. Well, I'm still going to say no, because we might need that 2059 7th. And frankly, you know, we just caught Austin McNamara, so why would we just go get somebody for no reason? Yeah, I'm going to pass on that, Mikey. Sorry, bub. I'm going to pass on that. I don't know too much about Lou Headley, but based off of, you're not selling him very well right now. Let's just put it that way. Now, if it's like, you know, who's that guy? What's his name? The Rams' old punter. What was his name? I don't know. Like, if it's like Pat McAfee or something like that, then yeah, I'll kick Brad Robbins to the curb. If it was what I thought Austin McNamara could have been, then sure. You know, I was down for the competition. It's about a 5-yard pickup there for Hull on the carry again. His name is Evan Hull from Northwestern, second-year player out of Northwestern. But yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, if you ain't giving me Pat McAfee at this point, then I just rather would make the attempt to develop Brad Robbins. Wow, that was a great pass by Anthony Richardson. Right down the middle, exactly where it needed to be. And the Bengals player did a good job of, like, making the attempt to defend it, and he couldn't get his hands on it. That was a strike, dude. That was a great pass by Anthony Richardson. All right, so he's going to hang out in the pocket, and, he fumbles the ball! He fumbles the ball, and then the Bengals fumble the fumble. Good God. Travis Bell fell on it and then didn't secure it, even though there was nobody around him, and then the Colts end up recovering the fumble. All right, so Travis Bell isn't making the team. Let's just put it that way. Great play by Justin Blazek to knock that ball out, and Travis Bell just completely bungles the attempt to try to pick up that fumble. All right, so Travis Bell, you are getting cut. I can promise you that. But Justin Blazek, we need a defensive end, and that was a good play right there. Give you that. All right, so it's going to be a handoff for about 2 yards before Jordan Battle stuffs it. That's good to see Jordan Battle. It's unfortunate because I don't know if Jordan Battle is going to start with Von Bell back. I think what they should do is they should keep Von Bell for depth and start Jordan Battle, but I don't think they're going to do that, and I worry that it's going to stunt Jordan Battle's growth, because Jordan Battle's really good, guys. But I don't think that he's going to get the opportunity. Lou Hedley is the worst punter of all time. I don't think that's probably accurate, but I don't know. Anthony Richardson, shotgun snap. He's going to bail out to his right, and he's just going to try to run, and he gets, I think he loses. No, he didn't lose yards, but he only got a few. Didn't even get it back to where he fumbled it earlier. So, Bengals defense looks like it's doing pretty good right now, so that's good. A lot of the guys who are on the field right now are playing for their jobs entirely. So, good to see that they're, taking the opportunity. All right. And so this is going to be a punt on 4th and 12 from the 48-yard line of the Bengals, and that is going to, wow, that is an amazing punt right there. Ryan Reckow, take notes. That's going to be down to the 7-yard line. It bounced at the 3. That was a really good punt right there. Man, Ryan Reckow, I'm upset for Ryan Reckow, because that's the type of punt that loses you a job. And I think if I was the coach, I'd cut him right now. I'd be like, sorry, dude, you ain't ready for this. We can't have that. We had enough of stuff like that happening last year with Brad Robbins, and we're not going to start from scratch with a guy who's doing the same thing. Lou Hedley, the worst punter of all time. Well, the Bengals have had some pretty bad punters over the years. So, I don't know. Brad Robbins was pretty bad last year. But who am I thinking of? The Bengals, when I was a kid, when I was your age, Mikey, I recall the Bengals having some bad punters. They went through a string of bad punters back in the day. Let's see. Nick Harris, is that who I'm remembering? Can't remember if Nick Harris was good or bad. 2002, by the way, is the year I'm looking at right now. Maybe 2003. Let's see. Oh, Shenandoah. Here we go. Nick Harris again. Then there was Kyle Richardson. When he was up and down, he was okay. Kyle Richardson was all right, but he ended up ultimately losing his job to Kyle Larson, and then Kyle Larson stuck around for a while. I think I recall Nick Harris. I think Nick Harris was pretty bad, if I recall correctly. So I don't know too much about Lou Hedley, but I don't know if he's gonna give Nick Harris a run for his money. Nick Harris was bad, dude. And the Bengals special teams was horrendous back then. That was back when we, I think, I can't remember if we drafted Neil Rackers or not. And by the way, if you know anything about Neil Rackers, let me finish first before you be like, well, Neil Rackers was great. Yeah, for the Cardinals. Neil Rackers was potentially, I don't think he's gonna make the Hall of Fame, but he was like a Hall of Fame level punter with the Cardinals. He was really good. He only made 1 Pro Bowl, but he probably should have made more than that. But he started he was a 6th round pick with the Bengals. He started his career with the Bengals, and he was bad. He was bad with the Bengals. And then he went and played for the Cardinals, and he was great there for like 6 years. All right, so it's going to be a handoff to Travion Williams, who finds a hole. There you go. And he picks up about 13 yards before he's brought down. Great run by Travion Williams. All right, well. Unfortunately, I believe he's going to be cut. If you watched my video. But, you know, that's just due to... or wait, no. Did I say he's going to be cut? I can't remember now. Let me bring up my... because I got it all up in a Google Sheet. Oh, no, I did have him making the team. I had him as the final guy at the running back position. Beating out such names as... If I could scroll over... beating out such names as Noah Cain and Elijah Collins. I think I advocated for Noah Cain making the roster over him. However, I don't think that's what's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is Travion Williams is going to make it because he contributes on special teams. But I think Noah Cain has looked like the better running back. Although I will say today, Travion Williams looked pretty damn good. So, you know. That's the thing when you do a video before you get all of the evidence. It's just like I kind of had to go ahead and put that one out because if we were going to get both videos out before before cuts are due on the 27th, I kind of had to do that one before the Colts game. But yeah, so I mean, there's an update. I now don't even think I would advocate. Like Noah Cain's really good. Don't get me wrong, but if Travion Williams is going to play like that, then yeah. Oh my God, and there's another one. Big hole. And he escapes. He gets down to the third level before the safety finally takes him down. And he picks about 15 yards there. Dude, like Travion Williams, like, okay, I take it back. Noah Cain, very good player. I believe he's got potential. But man, Travion Williams, yeah, you can have that third spot, bro. I apologize. Great block there by Eric All. Wow. Fantastic block there by Eric All. That's encouraging because the Bengals have had... some problems when it comes to like their tight ends blocking over the years. So hopefully Eric All can keep that up during the regular season. Oh, Travion Williams gets rocked in the backfield, and that was just that was an attempted screen, and Logan Woodside wasn't even really like I think he was just dumping the ball off like robotically, mechanically. He wasn't even really like paying attention to what was going on. So I won't blame Travion Williams for that one. That one I think is just like Logan Woodside probably should have just bailed on the play. Yeah, that was like I mean Travion he didn't stand a chance. The second he caught that ball, there was a dude about ready to smash into him. Like there's no way. There's no way. What up, Connor? As you can see, I've got the chat. Highlighting the chats has made a comeback. Nice. Okay, there's a better pass by Logan Woodside. Unfortunately, Shedrick Jackson couldn't turn that around and take it upfield for the first down, but he at least gave his player a chance, which he did not on the previous play. So that was a much better pass by Logan Woodside, which, again, not that it matters for his Bengals career, because I don't think he's going to make the team, but, you know, maybe it'll be good for his highlight tape. All right, so it's gonna be 3rd and 7 now. Let's see if they can convert. Let's not do another screen pass like that last one, Logan, please. All right, from the 39-yard line, Logan Wilson, shotgun snap. He rolls back, throws, and I mean he connects. He connects with Cole Burgess, but. I'm not sure what you're doing there. It was a short drag route, but you got a guy right on top of him. Like I'm not sure what you're doing there. Cheering on the Bengals in this game. Hey, I'm cheering them on too. Even though it's preseason, I don't really care, but I still cheer them on. They're my boys, right? I am also cheering on this team, but yeah, as I was saying. Oh, hold on. Punt is away. Reckow again. That's a much better punt. I don't think it excuses the last one. But that's a better punt. So the Colts will get the ball at like the 25-yard line. But yeah, as you can see, I've got the chat working again. It's got this weird like aqua blue green color kind of going on here. I'm going to try to get that changed, but as of right now, if it doesn't change, at least it's working, and that's an improvement from where it was. Like that whole weird chat thing we were doing in the last game. Hopefully that's fixed now. Back in Florida, had a great time in Jersey. Joyzy. Had a great time in Joyzy. It's actually, the weather is finally starting to turn, and now I'm sure it's still awful in Florida. What even is the temperature in Florida right now? I'm sure it's something stupid, like high 80s or something like that, right? No, just 80. Okay, I mean, well, it is also like 9 p.m., so that's probably part of it. Well, at least in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know exactly where you are, Connor, but in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, it's currently 80. But the high on the day is 89. So I'm not wrong. I think I got about an idea of where it generally is, and for me, that's too high. Like, especially when it's humid. That's too high for me. But definitely better than the the triple digits. Had some bad storms today. Yeah, I see you also. Looks like you're gonna have storms pretty much all weekend, and Sunday you're gonna have thunderstorms. So, well, again, and I don't know where you are, Connor, but in Fort Lauderdale, that's what the weather forecast is. So, be careful with that if you are in the Fort Lauderdale area, or in the area that has similar, the same weather pattern at the very least. What's it like in New Jersey right now? Oh, Tampa Bay. Okay. Yeah. So it's 70 in New Jersey. That's a much more. That's much better. Okay. So in Tampa Bay right now, it is 79. So it's actually a little cooler than it is in Fort Lauderdale. High of 87 this week looks like. High today. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it saying the high was 79, but it's also currently 79? That's weird. Oh no, okay, I see it. It like around 2 or 3 later, like tomorrow, it'll be a high of 87. So that's what it is. The temperature here, give me a sec, I'll tell you. Anthony Richardson throws it, and wow, wide open. Gonna be a first down. That's Gould on the catch right there, and somebody tried to knock it down. I didn't see who it was. Sam Ellinger, by the way, is the quarterback right now for the Colts. Right now, the temperature is 65, so that's where I like it. In the low 60s, high 50s. That's my ideal weather type. Looks like tomorrow it's like a high of 84, which is not my favorite. All right, so that's gonna be a run, and Bengals gonna swallow him, maybe give him like 2 yards on the play. But yeah, so tomorrow, I think it's a high of 84, which isn't my favorite, but I'll be inside in the air conditioning at that time. I think when I have to go to work, it'll be about 77, and then it'll still be like 84 when I leave, though. So yeah, I don't know, whatever. It's fine. All right, Anthony Richardson is in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap. Anthony Richardson. Sam Ellinger. Takes the snap, rolls back. He escapes pressure. There's a lot of pressure, but he escaped it. And almost intercepted, but it looked like it went through his hands and ended up going out of bounds. There's a flag on the play, too, though. I'm guessing holding the way that play went. Keaton Slovis, apparently, is one of the Colts' backups. And it is holding on the Colts. But apparently Keaton Slovis is one of their backup quarterbacks, so I'd like to see him play personally, just because I'm curious. I've been curious for a while to see how Keaton Slovis would actually perform in the NFL. So I'm curious. I want to see him play. I don't know if we're gonna get to see him play, but I'd like to see him play. Oh yeah, big time holding. Looks like 97 there had Sam Ellinger dead to rights, and he was held up like a bank. The J2 Fele, by the way, who was getting held up there. Sam Ehlinger rolls back, and this time he does get taken down. And that is number 52, Cedric Johnson, who has been pretty damn good for a 7th-round draft pick. So, like I said, I think... Oh, there's a flag. They're going to take away the sack? Damn. What's the flag? What was the flag? They had a graphic up when it was holding. Why aren't they going to... Whatever. I'll just go to the... Illegal contact on Dejon Anthony. That sucks, dude. But either way, great play by Cedric Johnson. I personally don't think that takes away the play by Cedric Johnson, considering it's preseason and the outcome doesn't really matter. So I'll still give that one to Cedric Johnson. All right, so that's a running play, and they do a great job of getting to him on the outside, but do nothing on the inside, and he gets 8 yards. Man, do better than that. Was planning on going to the beach on Sunday. How's the temperature? I don't know what the temperature's like at the beach. I don't get that interesting. I don't get that intricate. But on Sunday, looking like it's going to be... I think I mentioned earlier, it's going to be thunderstorming. So there's that. First down run there by 31. Once again, he just right up the middle, and nobody's doing anything in the middle. I don't know what they're doing there. Yeah, so I guess it's not supposed to thunderstorm in Tampa Bay. It was in Fort Lauderdale, but not in Tampa Bay. It is supposed to rain though quite a bit. So I don't know if that's the best day to go to the beach. Although really, I don't know if it's supposed to just rain nonstop in Tampa right now. So I don't know if there's going to be a good time to go to the beach. All right, and it's going to be a handoff to the right, 31. Gets about 5 yards before he gets taken down. Bengals aren't doing very good against the run right now. Prediction is Colts 20, Bengals 27. Well, what you've seen so far is very little offense. And really, virtually no offense so far. The only scoring you've really seen is the Bengals had a pick 6, and then Anthony Richardson did lead them down, but it wasn't really much of anything. That pass went nowhere after he got hit, so it's gonna be 3rd and 6 now. But yeah, there really hasn't been a lot of offense today. So for them to even get to the Bengals winning 27-20, I don't know if we're gonna get that much offense for the rest of the game, frankly. So, I don't know. Maybe you were right. You were spot on week 1. So you never know. Don't care about preseason. That's my prediction. I don't care who wins. See, I don't care that much who wins. It's gonna be handoff up the middle, and once again, nobody's there. Jordan Battle takes him down. The safety. But yeah, but the reason I'm not giving predictions in the preseason is, like I said, there's way too many factors in the preseason. There's all sorts of uncontrollable factors in the regular season, but multiply that by 50 in the preseason, because I don't even know who's going to play from play to play in the preseason. And not to mention, in the regular season, you can count every single play. That all they care about is trying to score, and it's the only thing that matters in the whole thing. In the preseason, there's all sorts of things going on. You don't want guys to get hurt. You want to maybe do some experimental things that you wouldn't normally do in a regular season game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's too many factors when it comes to a preseason game that if you want to try to predict for fun, by all means, go ahead. I just, personally for me, I don't want to do it because I think it's a waste of time to try to do it in the preseason. Scoreboard is second quarter. Yep, that's correct. How long has it been the second quarter? Has it been the second quarter very long? Oh my God, we're at the 2-minute warning. Okay. Thanks, Mikey. I wish there was some way that I could set a reminder for that, because that's I do stuff like that in my real life all the time. I constantly forget about things, and I have to set alarms so that to remind myself to do things. I don't think I can do that for the game though, because there's not necessarily a set time when the second quarter is going to happen. Maybe I could set an alarm for like when, like knowing the each quarter is going to probably last about a half an hour or so. Maybe I can set an alarm like that, like, like set it for a half hour, and then that'll remind me like around when the quarter is probably going to be ending, or at least going to be coming close to ending. And then that way it's not just I'm getting surprised by it, right? I don't know. It's ideas, ways of dealing with my own bowl, honestly. Go to Honeymoon Island State Park and in Ireland that word is pronounced Dunedin, but I don't know how it's pronounced in Florida. By my beach, my own little island. That's pretty cool, dude. That sounds really fun. I'm happy that you have that. Care about the regular season, of course. Everybody, yeah. If you don't care about the regular season, you don't like football, or you don't care about football. So, and if you don't care about football, then that's your whole thing. But then I don't know why, if you didn't care about football, why you'd be watching me on YouTube right now. Like, that'd be weird. Unless you're like somebody who's like a close friend in my life and you're just trying to support me, which people do that sometimes. Like my mom, for example, not a big football person. Came on the stream last for the last game just because she's my mom. She's gonna support me, right? So, some people do that sometimes. But for the most part, if you don't know me in real life and you're here, except for Lily. Lily's weird because Lily doesn't seem to like football, but she shows up in my stream all the time. I have no idea who Lily is, by the way. Never met this person in my life, but she shows up in my streams, and I appreciate her. I like her being in my streams. I don't know why she's in my streams because it's a football thing, and she's not really into football. I don't know. All right, so it's going to be a handoff, about a 5-yard pickup, even though they were on top of him. Like, dude, the run defense is terrible right now. Like, honestly, the Colts just keep running the ball, and you'll probably just end up winning doing that. It's not easy living with 2 families, so I keep running back and forth. I get that. I used to live with 2 families, and I hated it. The second I was able to, move out on my own with my wife, I was like, we got to get out of here. I can't live on top of somebody like this. Better run defense there. They still let him get about 3 yards, but at least it's not like an automatic first down. Up the middle, by the way, again. Currently sick. That's not good. Never go to Clearwater Beach because parking sucks and it's too crowded. I know a few beaches like that. It's always unfortunate when the beach is crowded because it kind of defeats, the fun of the beach. All right, so that's going to be a throw to the outside, and I think he did get just enough for the first down there. First game I ever watched was the Minneapolis Miracle. Well, no wonder you hate the Vikings then, Mikey. Yeah, I never realized that quite that much. Never too sick for me. Well, thank you, Mikey. I mean, luckily, this is online, so there's that. All right, Sam Ellinger drops back, throws, over the middle, caught, about a 9-yard pickup. Nobody's defending at all. I don't know what's going on there. Terrible defense. Really, Mikey? Apparently. Yeah, I can imagine. If that was your first game, I would imagine. I think, okay, so that was a run up the middle. The Bengals got to him, but I don't think they got it. I think he still got the first down. Looks like he got just enough there. I can imagine, Mikey. So one of my earliest direct memories of, because I've been going to Bengals games since I was 5, right? But obviously I don't remember the games from when I was 5. I remember being at the games, but I don't really remember the games themselves. Really, probably up until about I was 11 or 12 or something like that. So around 2004ish, or when I can go back and I can remember specific games. And one game that I remember, now this actually might have been more 2009. 2005, there's a good one. The Bengals playoff game. 2005, that's one of the earlier ones that I remember. And Carson Palmer hurt his knee, and ever since then, I haven't just hated the Steelers, I've despised the Steelers. I guess they did not give him the first down, so it's 3rd and inches. All right, so it's going to be a handoff, and yeah, he's got it. Of course he did, because there's no run defense. So, but anyway, like, you want to know why I hate the Steelers so much. Part of it is because, like, one of the most formative games of my existence was that 2005 playoff game against the Steelers, where they, like, the Bengals were probably going to win that game. Like, I mean, they definitely felt like they had the momentum at the very beginning of that game, and they were the better team that year. I think they swept the Steelers that year in the regular season. And it just felt like the Bengals had all the momentum, and then they snapped Carson Palmer's, like, ACL in half, and then after that, like, John Kitna just couldn't generate any momentum, and the Steelers kind of, like, handily beat us. So yeah, that was one of the first games that I remember specifically. That it made enough of an impact on me, and I was old enough that I remember the details of the game. That was one of the first ones that I can really recall strongly. That one hurt. That hurt so bad. That hurt. Honestly, like, that game, by the way, throw to the outside, got it down to about the 3-yard line. They're probably going to score. There's only 20 seconds left, but they're going to score at this point. But 2005, man, like, I think that might have hurt. That might have hurt worse than when they lost to the Steelers in 2015, when they had the game won. Although, then again, I don't know, that one in 2015 hurt worse. But the thing is, the game in 2005, that was during my formative years. So I think that's, like, I wasn't really, able to control my emotions like I was when I got older. Because, like, in 2015, I was an adult. So there wasn't really any reason for me to, like, genuinely be reacting like the way I was going to react when I was, like, 13, right? So that game might have hurt the worst. Like, I always say, like, when the Bengals lost the Super Bowl, I said afterwards, I'm like, yeah, that hurt, but, like, there's been games that have hurt worse, and just seeing in the Super Bowl at all was cool. The game, that Carson Palmer knee game is kind of what I'm talking about when I say stuff like that, right? All right, so that's an incomplete pass. 16 seconds left. 3rd and goal. Maybe they can hold them to a field goal here. I don't know. When's my next stream? Well, I guess my next stream will be when the Bengals' first game of the season is, right? So, Bengals schedule. Looks like the Bengals' first game is against the Patriots on September 8th. So, I guess September 8th at 1 p.m., that'll be my next stream. Unless something really big happens and I don't have time. All right, Ellinger's got to throw it out of bounds, so they are going to hold him to a field goal attempt. 12 seconds left. But, so September 8th, I guess. Unless some crazy news happens and I don't have time to put out a video about it, I might go live for something like that. But as far as planned streams that I have, the next one will probably be September 8th at 1 p.m. Because that's the Bengals-Patriots game. It's the season opener. Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning something like that, Mikey. All right, Ellinger takes a shotgun snap. 4th and goal. They're just going to go for it. And he has nothing going on for him there. He's got to throw it up, and it's out. It's completely uncatchable. So the Colts end up electing to try to go for it, and they don't get it. So you know what? The Bengals actually end up not letting them score. They luck out, probably partially because it's preseason, and the Colts are just like, screw it, it's preseason. Why not just go for it? So there you go. There you go. They tried, and they didn't get it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Bengals luck out there, but again, it's probably mostly just because it's preseason. In the regular season, they're going to kick that field goal 100 out of 100 times, unless Zach Taylor is the coach, in which they might actually not. But I imagine Shane Steichen probably would go for that in the regular season. All right, the Bengals are just going to kneel on it, and we're going to go to halftime. And I am actually going to update the thing. Okay, so let me catch up with these comments real quick, and then I'm going to take a break for halftime. I'll be back in a little bit. Let's see. Your next stream will be recapping the Saints and Titans games. You'll probably stream before I do, Mikey, because my next stream, like I said, will be September 8th. Buccaneers killed me when they hurt Jameis. Yeah, well, he was the Buccaneers quarterback first, to be fair. Yeah, no, Connor. So like Jameis Winston actually played for he was a backup quarterback for the Saints after he left the Buccaneers. So that's what it was. My most painful memory is the 2018 NFC Championship game. Yeah. Like I said, for me, I think it's kind of a toss up because like the thing is like 2005, those were my formative years, and it really felt like the Bengals really could have like won. Like I guess that's the thing. 2015, I don't know if I really genuinely believed the Bengals were going to go all the way that year because they didn't feel like the best team. They felt like a pretty good team who was starting to lose momentum. That's what the 2015 team felt like. Now it definitely felt like they were going to win that playoff game and in the streak, but I didn't think they were going to take it all the way to the Super Bowl that year. 2005, I thought at the time, and I've done a video on this since. I actually looking back on it, I don't think they would have won the Super Bowl, but at the time, I felt like this team could have taken it all the way to the Super Bowl because they were just electrifying with Carson Palmer and Chad Johnson. Before he was Ocho Cinco, it was just Chad Johnson. TJ Hushmanzada, Chris Henry, rest in peace. They were all vibing. Rudy Johnson, man, those guys were like vibing off of each other, and they were like really killing it in 2005. And it all came crashing to a sudden stop very early in that game with Carson Palmer's injury, and it was just like if that injury had happened near the end of the game, maybe John Kitna could have finished it off with a win. But then you probably lose next week in horrific fashion. But there's no way that you're going to win that game with John Kitna starting damn near the whole game, right? So that was painful. 2015 was painful because I thought we won, and then Pac-Man and Perfect did the Pac-Man and Perfect thing. But at the same time, I'm less mad at Perfect because Perfect also won us that game. Like he won the game with that interception, and then and then Jeremy Hill fumbled. And it meant like, oh shit, game's back on, and then Pac-Man and Perfect did their thing. But like I'm more mad at Pac-Man because Perfect like won us that game, and then he was probably I'm not excusing what he did, but he did win us that game, and then he fucked it up afterwards. But like he shouldn't have had the opportunity to fuck it up because Jeremy Hill should have not fumbled the damn ball. Like I don't know what he was doing. Just go down. You're in field goal range. I don't know what Jeremy Hill was doing there, bro. Like, I cannot, for the life of me, figure out what on earth was going through his head to make him think that anything is more important. In that moment, I don't give a shit if, you notice there's a hospital on fire down the street. For legal reasons, I'm going to say that's a joke. But point being, in that moment, I don't give a shit if you see an old lady being robbed on the other side of the street. Like you hold on to that ball. Go save the lady once you go. Like you know what? You can take a loss. Just go down. Oh, I gotta go save some lady. Just make sure you don't fumble the ball while you're on your way to go save the lady. Nothing in that moment matters more than holding on to the ball, Jeremy Hill. Oh my God! Pac-Man Jones at least took what happened in relatively good stride, and he's stayed, in the good graces of Cincinnati, and he's been a Bengals fan. He's got a podcast, I'm so mad at Pac-Man Jones for that personal foul, but at least he's been a good sport about it. Jeremy Hill has turned into a turd burglar about it, and if there's one human being on this planet, from a football standpoint, so just so we understand, it's not real serious stuff. It's just football. But from a football standpoint, if there's one human who I hate on this planet, it's Ben Roethlisberger, but Jeremy Hill might be a close second. But that was more. I don't know if that was infuriating. I don't know if it was as painful as 2005. That's the thing. Because 2015, it was infuriating because they had it. And they just screwed themselves over. In 2005, it was painful because there's nothing that you can really... That just sucks, dude. That just hurts. It's all that potential gone out the water for nothing. For just this very anticlimactic end. It was sad. It was disappointing. And... as like I said, when we lost the Super Bowl, that sucked. But, you know, the lead up was so much fun, and they came so close in that game that, you know, I'm sure they're going to win one with Joe Burrow. And even if they end up not winning one with Joe Burrow, to have seen my team in the Super Bowl was something I have wanted for my entire life. So that was just cool. So, like, yeah, it sucked that we lost the Super Bowl. It's still kind of painful seeing Jamar Chase, like just destroy Jalen Ramsey only for Joe Burrow to get sacked. That is kind of painful, but it's nothing like losing that playoff game to the Steelers in 15, and really nothing like when Carson Palmer got hurt. That was, I think that Carson Palmer thing is the most painful thing that I've ever experienced as a fan. Again, 15 was infuriating, but it was the Bengals' own. They did it to them damn selves. Like, the Steelers rubbed it in. They did the Steelers thing. I hate them because they're assholes and everything like that. But the Steelers, like Joey Porter going out there antagonizing, you know, Pac-Man. We can talk about little individual things and them trying to pick fights and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the Bengals did it to them damn selves. Like, the Steelers won that game fair and square because the Bengals shot themselves in the foot. You know, 2005 was different. Like, I'm not saying, like, the Steelers intended to hurt Carson Palmer, but I am saying that they didn't win that game fair and square because they were playing John Kitna. Like, we basically lost the whole reason we were in the playoffs in the first place. They faced a whole completely different Bengals team because you didn't have Carson Palmer. And that's why that was so painful, because it's just like we had all this hope and hype going into this game, and then you got that. It was disappointing. It was extremely disappointing. 17-20 was the best stretch in Saints history. I guess I would say any stretch that involves winning the Super Bowl would be the best stretch in Saints history, even if the 2 years surrounding it aren't that great. I don't know, that's my opinion. The most painful memory is my Bills lost to the Chiefs in the divisional round in 22. Yeah, I remember that game. But you see, that again, it's kind of like the Super Bowl with me, right? At least it was a good game. It was a legendary game. That game between the Chiefs and the Bills, legendary. And yeah, you lost in the end, but at least it was a good game. You know, I can't say that about the 2005 playoff game. It wasn't a good game. You had so much hype, all this hope that something cool was going to happen, and then it just all fell apart on you, like, out of friggin' nowhere. It was a boring game that was basically decided the second Carson Palmer went down. It's such a waste is what it was. The Rams game, we had that one, but the refs, well, yeah, I'm not gonna comment about the Rams and refs because, you know, I don't like complaining about the refs in general. I think it's weak. Davis could have made the game the winning touchdown, but instead the Chiefs had to score. Yeah, I agree. But, again, at least it was a really good game. A really fun game at the very least. All right. I'm going to go stuff a little bit of food in my face because I'm hungry and I only have a few minutes before the game starts back up. I'm going to play this episode that I have here, and I'll try to get some more stuff up beyond just this. But, yeah, we'll have this back. I'll be back here in a second, y'all. Not you, the guy who was, you know, traded to Arizona before too long. Welcome to the Jungle, Bengals fans. I'm Kyle Phelps, and sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes, I feel a little bad that the Bengals were only really able to grow out of their own turmoil by sucking the life out of another franchise. I mean, not that bad. I feel a little bad. Of course, I'm talking about the potentially, absolutely franchise-changing trade that set up the Bengals for half a decade of being contenders, and the Raiders, well, yeah, it's the Raiders. They sucked anyway. So, I mean, maybe the curse of Bo Jackson backfired a little bit. I don't know. It just kind of seems like every time the Bengals level up, it's the Raiders who they kind of have to screw over, right? but I don't really care that much. Before we get into that, though, I'd just like to ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. It really helps my channel grow, and it helps you know when all of my content comes out. So in the last episode of the Mike Brown saga that we're doing, we left off with the Houday Revolution. Probably my favorite of all of the movements that demanded that Mike Brown hire a general manager. The Bengals sort of half granted their wish, right? They gave Duke Tobin more power, but, you know, I think that's going to be the next episode. This one is about, you know, obviously the Carson Palmer trade. It also helped, though, that the Bengals made possibly the best incoming personnel move of this time period until they drafted Joe Burrow in hiring Mike Zimmer as the defensive coordinator in 2008. Set up a really solid defense for the entire time Mike Zimmer was here, outside of that one season. But they ended up having a run of 6 playoff appearances over the course of the next 7 seasons. However, I say the best incoming personnel move because there was another move that trumped it entirely with an outgoing player, and that was the trade of Carson Palmer. While I'm sure Marvin and Duke were both influential in the execution of this absolute masterpiece, this all-time great trade was orchestrated by Mike Brown himself. Now, Carson was a game changer for the Bengals when he was drafted, to be fair, right? But by 2010, he'd become Bengalized. You saw it with that god-awful 2010 season that I just referenced a couple seconds ago that I actually personally only vaguely remember because I was lucky enough that my brain exploded and that whole time period is kind of lost for me. Like honestly, I like to believe that this happened because of that season. Actually, by the way, funny story about that. When I had my brain surgery, the first thing I said when I came out of the operating room was, I turned to my mom and I asked, did the Bengals make the Super Bowl? And she told me the Bengals won 4 games that year and the Steelers were in the Super Bowl. It was a rough time, guys. But wouldn't you know it, I got to watch Aaron Rodgers beat the Steelers in that Super Bowl while I was recovering. I choose to believe that my recovery, my very quick recovery for having, you know, a brain explosion and brain surgery, I choose to believe that that was largely fueled by spite. Lord Sidious would be proud.
Good. Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you.
I could really go on and on about how I feel about Carson's exit in Cincinnati, but I won't for this video for the sake of staying on track and not putting out a half-hour-long video, right? But I think that Mike Brown felt about the same way. And as I said, I think he genuinely intended to let the man retire. However, what actually happened is Mike drove Carson's trade value through the roof. After all, he was just 31 years old at the time and one of the league's most talented quarterbacks. So teams were willing to pay a premium for a guy who the Bengals had under contract for another 4 years still. Now, I like to believe that Mike Brown knew exactly what he was doing letting Carson sit halfway through the season to create a sense of desperation among QB-needy teams. I mean, I know it was about morals. We're not going to let the player walk all over us. I just like to believe he was being a little savvy. But whether intentionally or unintentionally, Mike getting... All right, we're back. We're back just in time for the kickoff, which doesn't really go anywhere. So, yeah, it gets it down to about the 25-yard line, but nothing exciting on that first one. Mikey had eye surgery? What's up with that? What up? By the way, what episode is that I have? Because, like, I have this thing queued. I think it's, like, my old episode about how, like, Mike Brown fleeced the Raiders for Carson Palmer, but I can't remember what episode that actually was. All right, Sam Ehlinger. Shotgun snap, rolls back, he throws to the right. You got number 86 there for about a 5 or 6 yard pickup. Let's see. 86? Will Mallory, the second-year tight end out of Miami. So, good play there by the Colts. Not a great way to start if you're the Bengals, but As a reminder, it's 7-7 because the Colts chose to go for it in their on 4th down and they didn't make it. So it really should be 10-7 right now, but they elected not to go for it. Although there's another big run there by Hull, so the Bengals defense is getting just marched all over anyway. So I guess it won't matter because the Colts will probably take the field goal here once they get in range for it. You had eye surgery when you were younger. Would you have like something like you had to like for like an eye correction, or did you have like something happen to it? What happened with that? All right, it's going to be a handoff. There you go. There's some defense. 37 and 51 combined to make that backfield stop there. Lost for about a 1 yard. 37 is P.J. Jules, the safety who's definitely not making the team. And 51 is Justin Blazik. There you go. So that's that guy we saw earlier. I actually texted my dad when I stepped away for a few minutes. And I actually texted him like, "Hey, what do you think about Justin Blazik making the team? Because he's had a few good plays this preseason. He's had a really good day today, especially with all these injuries. I think Justin Blazik has a path to the roster right now. Honestly, I'll have to go back and relook at everything because right now my depth chart is not showing much. My stream froze again, so I don't know what just happened on that last play. Not great. Had to get my eye muscles adjusted. So it was probably correction then. All right. Ellinger, shotgun snap. It's 1st and 10. And, yeah, he gets like 7 yards. I don't know what's going on with this defense, dude. It's almost like it's a bunch of guys who aren't going to make the roster out there. Terrible. Showing a graphic of what happened to Anthony Richardson's shoulder. Oh, no, they're just showing how the AC joint works. So, I guess you need a healthy AC joint. That's what basically I got out of that graphic. Thank you for showing me a graphic to let me know that your AC joint needs to be healthy. Good play there by Josh Newton to, through being blocked, he manages to bring a guy down in the backfield. That was a very strong play by him there. That's a good one. Appreciate him on that one. I know, Connor. My boss told me that Green Day is playing downtown, and I was so mad when she told me that. I'm like, and I didn't get tickets. God, I would, guys, I love you guys. I would 9 billion out of 9 billion times rather be at a Green Day concert right now than streaming a Bengals Colts preseason game. I'm sorry, I love you guys, but man, I would love to be at that Green Day concert. I'm a big Green Day fan. I would love to be at that Green Day concert. All right, well, the Bengals stopped them, so it's 4th and 7. And I did not see where they're at on the field, so I don't know if they're going to punt or if they're in field goal range. I'm guessing punt, because it looked like they kind of stalled out there. Although, no, that's their kicker. It's going to be a 56-yard field goal attempt. Have I ever seen Green Day before? Not live. I've seen a lot of bands live. All right, kick is up, and looks like he made it. So it's going to be 10-7. Have I ever seen Green Day before? Not live. Unfortunately. I've seen a lot of bands. I was a big festival person. I went to a lot of festivals, so I've seen a lot of bands live. But I've got a bucket list, and Green Day is one of the few bands that I have not been able to check off my bucket list yet, unfortunately. So no, I haven't seen Green Day. I hope to see them at some point ever. The sad thing is I don't, given the way Billy Joe Armstrong has lived his life, I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity because he just seems like one of those guys who's going to end up kicking the bucket early. The fact that he's still alive now is kind of surprising. So I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I do get to see them one day. Something tells me one of them is going to OD at some point. And it's going to be sad, and I don't predicting stuff like that, but, I'd love to see Green Day, though. That's one of those bands, I've seen a lot of bands live. I've never gotten to see Green Day, though, and they're one of my favorites, too. That's the sad. I've seen a lot of bands that I don't like nearly as much as Green Day. Hell, I've seen some bands I don't like at all. and it's just because they were playing at a festival I was at. Like We Came as Romans. I can't stand We Came as Romans. I cannot. I actually, when I was younger, I had one of their T-shirts, but it wasn't because I liked the band. It's because the T-shirt looked really cool. But like I looked up the band and I wanted to like them because the T-shirt was cool. So I really tried to listen to it and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna find something to like about this band. I tried and I'm listening to it and I'm like, this sucks. This sucks. I hate this. Gets on my nerves. Who's my favorite actor/actress? It depends on how you define actor/actress. Because, my favorite, screen personality is Jon Stewart. But I think he has been an actor before, but from what I understand, he wasn't necessarily a very good actor. He's really better as, a comedy show host than he is as an actor. So, I don't know. Big fan of Jim Carrey. I don't like a lot of Jim Carrey's early work, but pretty much anything Liar, Liar, and afterwards, I've always been a big fan of Jim Carrey. So maybe Jim Carrey. I'm not sure. I'm not. The other thing is I'm not much of a movie person. Never really been a big movie person. All right, so the kickoff is returned to about the 24-yard line, roughly. Storm woke me up at 5 something in the morning. I like Zidania. I've never seen any role she couldn't nail. I don't even know anything about her. I've heard the name. Zidania. I don't know. What did she do? She apparently got big with Disney. She was in Frenemies, which sounds awful. Just the name sounds like it's an awful show. You know what? I'll look up. I'll do some research on Zidania on the next commercial break because I don't want to miss part of the game here. But yeah, I don't know anything. I might find something I've seen that has her in it. I don't know. She's pretty young, so maybe not. Again, I'm not really a movie person. I'm more of a TV person just because my attention span isn't long enough for movies. Although somehow it's long enough for sports. Don't ask me. I don't get it either. I don't know. I can sit here and just focus on an entire NFL game, which is really slow paced. I love, soccer, which has very little scoring. Can't really do baseball, so maybe that's something you'd maybe expect. But but I can sit here and I can do sports all day. But movies, I can't do movies. I can't. It's not that I can't ever do movies. I do like watching movies sometimes. I don't find myself wanting to watch a movie because it's too long. All right, that's a good pass there by Logan Woodside. He throws to Jermaine Burton. He's about the only person he seems to be able to throw to in the first place, successfully. But Jermaine Burton catches it for about a 15-yard catch, and Bengals moving the ball at the very least. So they've got the opportunity here to maybe do something. See if they actually do. I don't know. I've seen a lot of Bengals fans complaining about the fact that the Bengals have performed poorly in the preseason so far. That's some sort of comment about how Zach Taylor is as a coach. And I'm just sitting here you guys do know that the guys who are playing most of the game in these preseason games just don't really have that much talent. All right, Logan Woodside, almost. He got out of one pressure, but he ends up rolling into another sack. So that was just bad defense. That's bad offensive line play right there. But again, some Bengals fans are going to see a play like that, and they're going to be look, the offensive line's still terrible. And it's okay, but these are guys who probably aren't going to make the roster. So, what are you getting upset about? Thank you, Mikey. Logan Woodside throws it. Oh my God, that was an amazing catch by Jermaine Burton. And it's a flag. I think it's going to be pass interference on the Colts, and he still caught it. That was a great back shoulder. That was a good back shoulder throw by Logan Woodside, and a great turnaround by Jermaine Burton. Dude, that kid's going to be special. Jermaine Burton is going to be special, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, Jermaine Burton is going to be special. That kid's got something else. I really, really, really desperately hope that Jamar Chase gets his contract situation figured out, because if we can get T. Higgins actually playing like T. Higgins is capable of playing, and Jamar Chase and Jermaine Burton on the field all at the same time, good luck. Good luck. I mean, it's over at that point. Noah Cain, by the way, on the run. And he doesn't really do a whole lot with it. Gets a few very hard-earned yards, to be fair, so it didn't get a lot of help from the offensive line, but, still only about like 3 or 4 yards. Totally agree. What about the movie thing? I just can't do movies. I like some movies. I can watch movies, but typically I have to watch a movie with somebody. I can't really do it by myself because I just don't care enough. Oh, wow. All right. So that was a bad run by Noah Cain. Again, not great run blocking, but he just gets like swallowed up in the backfield. So much for the Noah Cain momentum there. Indianapolis is not too far from Ohio. I'd say about a good hour and a half from Indianapolis to Cincinnati. Yeah, maybe a little bit, maybe more like 2 hours. I've been to Indianapolis a few times. Typically when I'm traveling around, I don't really go west all that often, unless I'm going west, right? But like there ain't all that much in Indiana to do, so I don't really make an attempt to get out to Indiana. Bad catch attempt there by Travion Williams almost leads to an interception, but luckily it falls harmlessly to the ground. It is 4th and 11 though, so we're gonna get another punt. But yeah, Indianapolis. It's not that there's nothing to do there. Every time I go, I find something fun to do. But you can find something fun to do in any city, right? I've never found Indianapolis to be all that exciting personally. All right, Ryan Breckhouse punting again. And I think the Bengals coaching staff is just trying to see if there's like anything in it for him. Because like Brad Robbins hasn't taken a single punt. I don't know if he's hurt, but Brad Robbins hasn't been punting at all. And I wonder if they're just like, they've already basically decided that Brad Robbins has got the job. And they're just like giving Ryan Breckhouse the reps just to see if he's got anything left in him. Yeah, I don't see any suggestion that Brad Robbins is hurt. So I'm guessing they're probably just giving Ryan Breckhouse more reps just to make sure that he's not the guy. But I think I am going to say he's not the guy. Ryan Breckhouse, allegedly has a booming leg, but I just saw him have a 29-yard punt earlier, which got the ball down to the 30-yard line. So that didn't look like a booming leg to me. This is my personal assessment. Mikey says I'm a big movie guy. I know a lot of people who are big movie people. Movies are obviously very popular. People love movies. I'm just not. I don't want to watch a movie by myself, right? Because like I've just got. I need something to keep my attention, and movies are too slow paced. Either that or they're just really kind of going overboard with like the action and the boom, 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 Like the storyline in stories is too slow paced for me. Like I prefer TV because TV tells you a story in a TV amount of time, I mean, I can even do the long form television, like, 45-minute show. I can do that. But anything over like an hour and a half, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I want to commit that much time to like this one story here, But again, there are movies I like, and I can generally do movies better when I'm watching it with somebody, because then it's partially about the shared experience, and it's just fun to do things with people. But like by myself, I almost never. I'm not going to say I've never done it, but almost never just decide, oh, I want to watch a movie. I don't do that on my own. Not that interested. I said I was going to look up Zindanya on the commercial break, but I think I ended up just talking about how much I don't like movies through the entire commercial break. Yeah, because I think we're back now. All right. Jason Bean. So they got Jason Bean in there. Are we gonna so Sam Ellinger's out. I guess we're not gonna see what's his name? Keaton Slovis at all, because we got Jason Bean in there now. I mean, maybe you see him at the very, very end. I don't know. I actually don't know what their depth chart is. Maybe he's like solidified as the second guy and they're just not playing him at all. But I don't think that's accurate. All right, so it's going to be about 2-yard run. Bengals run defense actually does something for once. Oh, Connor, seeing Korn and Gojira in Tampa on September 12th. Got the tickets to Left Corner Amphitheater very close to the stage. Dude, Gojira is one of my favorite live acts. I love Gojira. Yeah. I'm a big Gojira guy. Korn's good too. I like Korn. I've actually seen Korn more than I've seen Gojira, but when I've seen Gojira, it's been electrifying. They put on this incredible light show. And if it's an outdoor show, you might not get as much of like the incredible light show. But if you're like in an arena, Gojira's set goes hard. But then again, this was also Gojira's set in 2009, so I don't know how it's really changed since then. But when I saw Gojira, I was impressed. Like they were opening for Metallica that year. I was hooked right away. All right. I'm going to roll back, and 52 is going to get his hands on him, but he's not able to bring him down. And he's going to end up scrambling for the first down. So 52, who are you? Cedric Johnson. Ooh, rough look for Cedric Johnson there. Still fighting for a roster spot. I think he's going to get it, but not with plays like that, you're not. Oh, boy. Not a big band person? It's fair enough, Mikey. Fair enough. I am huge music person. I could have been a music YouTuber, honestly. I find myself more interested in getting on and talking about football more consistently, whereas, like, music, I'm more into listening to music than I am into, like, analyzing music, right? So I don't know if I'd want to do a music YouTube channel, because when you're doing YouTube, you either got to be entertaining, or you got to be analytical, or you got to teach people something. And I'm not sure I'm interested in doing any of that stuff with music outside of performing it myself. Now, what I have thought about doing, and what actually, I'm not saying this is happening, by the way, but I have talked to a few local musicians around here about potentially forming a Celtic punk cover band. And we would be like doing our stuff online, releasing music on YouTube. So that's not something that is currently imminent to be happening, but that is something that I have interest in doing myself. And I've talked to a few other people who have interest in, like, I've got a guitarist on board, I've got a drummer on board. And that, frankly, for an online project, that might be all we need. So that might end up being something that happens. We'll see. All right, so it's going to be a handoff for the Colts there. A Bengals player's helmet comes off. That looks like that was Jung Meta who lost his helmet there. But it's about a 5-yard pickup. Yeah, so that might be some content. I wouldn't put it on this channel, but I would probably tell you guys. Like, I'd probably set up its own channel, and I'd probably tell you guys where you could find it if you're interested in something like that. But again, I don't know if that's happening. That's just an idea I had, and that's an idea I had with people who have expressed interest in doing that as well. It's just because we're all interested in doing it doesn't mean it's happening, right? We got to actually, like, sit down and do it, and, like, you know, it takes more to actually do something than just having the desire to do something, right? Especially when we're talking about multiple people. Bengals run defense once again, nothing there. Lets them get a first down. Terrible. How could you forget the GOAT Stanley Morgan wasn't on your team? Because I totally just forgot Stanley Morgan existed, honestly. Do a backflip, says Teddy Belcher 4K Ultra Ride 21.9. Wow, what a name. Do a backflip. You want me to do a backflip or like one of the players? I don't know if I could do it. I think if I did a backflip, I'd probably injure myself. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I'm actually sitting on a broken office chair right now because I don't think this is my fault, by the way. But my back's definitely very sore right now. So I feel like if I tried to do anything remotely athletic right now, I'd probably injure myself. So I'm gonna not do a backflip. But even like, you know, when I'm feeling healthier, I probably wouldn't do that anyway. But I'm, you know, maybe might try for fun, for YouTube. You know, do it for the brand. Pat McAfee always says. Good pressure, but he gets out of the pressure and manages to make the pass and the catch. Ward comes down with the first down for the Colts. Teddy, it's been a minute since I talked to you. I don't remember that name at all, frankly. Teddy Belcher 4K Ultra Wide 21.9. Might have updated your name at some point. I don't know, but that I gotta say though, I'm impressed by that name. I'm gonna put your comment up now, just because I love that name so much. 4K Ultra Wide 21.9. That's a good name. I like that. You know what? When my back recovers, maybe I might do a backflip just for you, just because you named yourself that. Teddy was one of your first followers on your old streams. There you go, Mikey. By the way, Mr. Bean there gets about a 20-yard pickup. Because we're just at the point where the Bengals defense has got nothing in them right there. I think Josh Newton made the tackle, but it definitely was not his fault that pass was completed. Like he had to catch up because that guy was wide open. Now maybe it was, maybe he's the one who let him get wide open. I don't know, but looked to me like he was just playing damage control there. Oh my god, dude, this quarterback here, Bean. He looks like he's just like pathetic at running, and yet the Bengals defense just lets him get like 7 yards there. What on earth? Jason Bean doesn't look like he can run for shit. Look like one of the least athletic quarterbacks that I've seen in a long time, and at least as far as this new generation of quarterback goes. And yet the Bengals defense is completely perplexed by him. All right, and look at that. It's a first down run. Dude, this is bad. Like, I'm glad nobody at this point is making the... I mean, probably a few guys are making the roster at this point, but try to watch every NFL show. Yep. It's good. It's good. I got a job for 2 weeks before I got fired because I didn't go to Jefferson Parish. I don't know where Jefferson Parish is. Oh, the backflip comment's just a 2024 icebreaker. You know what though? I'm definitely not doing it right now, like I said, because my back hurts. But I mean, like, I kind of want to do it now just because I respect the way you named yourself so much. I really do. I really, really do. Okay, so Justin Blazek, I have a little bit of hope that maybe he makes the roster with all the injuries we have. Josh Newton's probably going to make the roster. And I'm talking about guys who are currently on the field, by the way, because I was saying this is a bunch of guys who aren't even going to make the roster. But, like, I got 2 out of the 11 guys probably going to make the roster at the very least. But, yeah, most of these guys, there's no way. Especially the way they're playing right now. Good God. Let's see. Cedric Johnson very well might make the roster. In fact, he'll probably like Justin Blazek is a maybe. I think Cedric Johnson's a pretty good. Pretty sure he's going to make the roster at this point, at least at first, until Myles Murphy gets back. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't really see anybody else on the field right now who's probably going to make the roster. But I'm guessing what's probably most likely going to happen is the Bengals will put Myles Murphy on short-term IR when the season starts, and they'll bring him back basically as soon as he's like eligible to come back. And in the meantime, they'll use his roster spot on somebody like Cedric Johnson or maybe even Justin Blazek. I don't know how you pronounce that. Kool-Aid got injured. That's not good. That's rough. Just watched the entire second quarter on a guy holding his phone at the 50-yard line. Wait, he was holding his phone at the 50-yard line. What? So, like, I mean, I think the way I'm reading that is you watch the second quarter, and in the second quarter, you were watching it from a guy who was, like, holding his phone the whole time, but he was at the 50-yard line? Confused about that. Sincere Hainsworth and Christian Boyd. By the way, Mikey, you know what I'm going to do right now? Because it's the fourth quarter, I'm going to update it without you having to tell me. But also, thank you for telling me. I'm just happy because I remembered this time. But also, I did it this time. I did it without any help in the fourth quarter. I finally did it myself. I think I got the first quarter too, if I recall correctly. I think I got the first quarter, and then you had to remind me for the second quarter, and then I think I got halftime on my own, and I think you had to tell me about the third quarter. But I got the fourth quarter, so hey, you know, I've got more than a 50% success rate on doing my job. Better than some Bengals players. Let's just put it that way. 3 rookies got hurt. Yikes. Sounds like a rough outing for you guys. See, stuff like that is why people complain about, like, guys not playing in the preseason and then, like, they're not ready for the regular season. But the problem is, if they get hurt in the regular season, hell's going to rain down. All right, so with just 4 yards to go to the end zone, the Bengals managed to stop the run up the middle. They let him get 3 of those 4 yards, though, so the ball's going to be at, like, the 1-yard line. So playing with fire here. His battery ran out. But what do you mean he was at the 50-yard line? Like, he wasn't in the middle of a football game, or was he on the sidelines to the 50-yard line? And that's interesting. I'm surprised that they're, like, letting him stream like that, because, like, I would think that they'd, like, nip that in the bud pretty quickly. All right, it's going to be a fake handoff. Bean's going to run out to the right. He's going to attempt to get in, but he doesn't, I don't think. I think he's just short. So that's going to be 4th down, and I'm guessing, well, I don't know. It is preseason, so maybe you just go for it anyway, really. But, like, in the regular season, you take a field goal here, right? But, I don't know. It is the preseason, so upon further review, I'm going to say that might be a touchdown, actually. Just because, like, depending on when they say that knee goes down, that ball might have broken the plane. So, maybe. It's possible. I don't know. Is Shane Steichen going to challenge this? I hope not. Can we not challenge in preseason? Not extend preseason games, please? I would really rather we didn't do that. By the way, that was a vicious hit on Bean there. So, gotta at the very least have a very stiff neck coming out of that. So here's the thing. You can't really see where... They've got a good angle here on the TV that's showing he's got the ball across the plane. But the problem is you can't really see when that knee... Oh my God, they are challenging it. Why are we challenging in the preseason? So we can put more commercials up. That's probably why. God, I don't care. Just give him the touchdown. I don't care. Zach Taylor doesn't care. None of the Bengals players care. Maybe the guys on the field care because they're on the field and they're in the middle of the fight and the passion and the the testosterone and the adrenaline and all that shit. But like 90% of people do not care about the outcome. Why are we challenging it? Why are we allowed to challenge in the preseason? That needs to go away. Can we not? I guess we're challenging it. By the way, my opinion of that is a touchdown. However, I don't know if we're challenging it anyway, then I'm just going to analyze it and say that I don't think there's enough evidence to overturn it. Because you can't really see, because that guy's helmet's in the way of his knee, you can't really see where it goes down, and another angle might not show you that the ball is clearly over the line. So, I don't think this is going to be able to be overturned, but I could be wrong, because it's probably, it probably is over, and it's the preseason. So I mean, if I don't care, I don't know if the refs care. Like, the fact that Shane Steichen's challenging it, it's like, why do you care? Like, why do you care? You can just pretend that he got it. And, it's all about everybody learning and getting ready for the season anyway. Why do you care, Shane Steichen? Yeah, the angle they have here, like, you can't really see. You either, from the back angle, you can't see the ball, and from the other angle, you can't see his knee. So I don't think there's conclusive evidence here. Although, despite that, I do think he got it, but I don't think I don't think it's going to matter. Because, and Brandon Bean's going in the medical tent, but not Brandon Bean, whatever. Jason Bean is going in the medical tent, by the way. So, what that's worth. I did think he got hit pretty hard there. Looks like they did overturn it and give him the touchdown. So, once again, I don't care. We didn't need to spend 5 minutes figuring that out. We really didn't. That's 5 minutes I could have. Like at the end of this, I could have been like watching something on YouTube about, the Crimean War and the impact it had. Because I'm a nerd and I watch history videos. Because I talk so much about football, I don't want to watch football videos, right? Like, I'll be honest with you guys, I have not been able to watch Tom Grossi really yet at all this offseason, just because I love getting on and watching football happen and coming on here and talking to you guys about football and analyzing the game. I find all that interesting, but I'm starting to get to the point where I don't really want to listen to other people talk about it. Like, once I'm done talking about it, like, I'm getting everything out that I need. I don't need to hear other people talk about it, Like, I'm showing up to your live streams, Mikey, because I like you, not because I really give a shit about the Saints or because I want to hear somebody talk more about football after I just got done talking about football for 4 hours. But I show up because I like you and I want to support you, right? But I want to watch Tom Grossi. I might be working with him on a project I'm not going to reveal just yet, but I might be working on him with something this upcoming year. Not like video related, but I might be doing something in the background, doing some sort of project with him. But I still don't necessarily I'm finding myself he came out with his AFC North predictions, and I still haven't watched it because I just I've done so much analysis and work on my end that I find it difficult to care that much. You just got to deal with this game. I know. This game's tough, man. This game is I used to really like the preseason because it's more football, even though it's less meaningful football. It's still watching guys fighting for their roster spots, and again, the only reason I'm showing up right now is for you guys. I don't really care that much about the preseason. We could talk about anything right now, and I'm going to talk about the game and, react to the game and everything because I want to practice for the regular season when it really does matter. But honestly, everything that's happening right now, Travion Williams, and he got hit pretty hard there. I hope he's okay. But beyond that, he got tackled for no gain on what appeared to be a dump-off pass. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'd rather talk to you guys about the weather again. Let's talk about it's going to be 84, high of 84, right? That's more interesting than this preseason game right now. But I'm still doing it because I need to get in the habit of doing it, right? I want the content in the regular season to be good quality content. And for that reason, I need to treat this game I need to at least go through the motions in this game like it's a real game, practicing for the real thing, right? Although I'm not doing a very good job about that because I'm rambling instead of explaining what's going on. But part of it's just because, I don't know, there's a flag on the play. It was a throw and looked like it hit the ground before he caught it, but now there's a flag. And also it's 17-7, so I should probably go ahead and update that. Like I said, when the regular season games start happening, I'm going to be a lot more interested. Oh, I think I might be roughing the passer. Probably going to be roughing the passer on the Colts. But yeah, like when the regular season starts, I'm going to be a lot more on top of this stuff because I'm going to like be really, like I get nerdy about this stuff, right? Like I get really into the games and like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. It's really hard to do that in the preseason though, just because, like I said, like Logan Woodside isn't going to be a Bengal in 6 days. So like, what am I getting all that? What's worth getting excited about here? Logan Woodside hands the ball off to Travion Williams. Travion Williams will probably be a Bengal in 6 days. But he'll be the last guy on the roster too. Finally made it to a stream. Let's go, Jeff. You made it to a preseason stream, which it's okay if you didn't make it to the other ones because again, it's preseason. Hey, was it September 8th, I think is the Bengals' first game. So, make it to that one. That's the one to make it to. This one is the fourth quarter of a preseason game. And once again, it looks like the Bengals probably are not going to. What is Logan Woodside doing? Okay, so he appeared to fumble. I think he was down. But they're calling it a fumble. And I don't know, maybe it's a fumble. So if it is a fumble, he's an idiot for doing that. Logan Woodside was like 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. He's out there pump faking like he's going to throw the ball. And then he pulls it back in and he runs. And then he gets hit and he appears to... Oh, no, he did fumble. Yep, that's a fumble. He's no protection on the ball. Gets recovered by the Colts. So, like, dude, Logan Woodside wasn't making the roster anyway, but, like, good God, bro, you cannot do that. Like, you just can't do that. Oh, man. Can you imagine how mad I'd be right now if I cared? Where did Logan go to school? Wasn't it, like, Toledo? I feel like it was Toledo. He might need to go back to school after doing that. I'll tell you that right now. It was Toledo. Yeah, he went to school 2013 and 2017, and then he was actually a Bengals 7th round pick in 2018. Yeah, Logan Woodside, Kentucky native, went to Toledo for college and has been with the Bengals for so basically just this preseason. He started his career with the Bengals in 2018, but since then he's spent some time with the Titans, time with the San Antonio Commanders, which were an AAF team back when that league existed. Then he actually was a backup quarterback like on the roster for the Titans in for like 3 years, 2019 to 2022. And then he was on the Falcons from 2022 to 2023. But there's no way he's making the roster this year for the Bengals. Like, Jake Browning is already the entrenched guy, but even if there was like a chance that somebody could play really well and unseat Jake Browning, Logan Woodside has not done that. Like he's had some good and some bad, And that last play was horrendous. Like he's over here pump faking 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Like, who are you fooling? If anything, he might get people. He might just confuse people. Like he's out there pump faking 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. You're gonna have somebody coming up on you like that might stop them in their tracks, thinking like, did that guy just pump fake? What? But like, what had actually happened is it got him to lose control of the ball. And when he did go back and tuck it, he didn't tuck it enough, and he got hit and lost control of the ball. Like, oh boy, yeah, he's done. He's done. If I was the Bengals, I'd just kneel on it, and I'd make Logan Woodside kneel on it for the rest of the game. I have to help my teacher with her fantasy football draft. The Falcons still suck. Now, the Bengals have been terrible in the preseason, I can tell you that right now. But again, it's preseason. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, half these guys aren't going to make the roster anyway. Number 42 there finally brought somebody down. Is Alan George. He's a cornerback who's got the slimmest of slim chances to make the roster, but I severely doubt it. Jalen Davis probably make the roster, but again, I'm not going to go too much into that because I'm going to have a video coming out, so I don't want to like over give away everything that I'm thinking, but I will say Alan George almost certainly is going to not make it. The Falcons will win 6 games. Hey, Keaton Slovis. We got Keaton Slovis in. The Falcons winning 6 games. Let's see. I don't know about that. Kirk Cousins isn't suspended, right? So, like, their quarterback's definitely Kirk Cousins, right? All right. Keaton Slovis rolls back. He throws for about a 5-yard pickup. Yeah, I think Kirk Cousins is their quarterback. I think the Falcons will be okay this year. I'm not saying that they'll win the division by any means, but I mean, I'm thinking like 8 wins for the Falcons. 8, maybe 9. I think it'll be an okay year for the Falcons. They did better than you'd expect with their quarterback situation they've had, and Kirk Cousins is at the very least going to stabilize that situation. So, all right, shotgun snap for Slovis. He finds a man on the outside, and it's going to be a first down for Scott. Great. Going to head out for the night. Next time I see you, September 8th, Patriots Bengals. Until that, I'm out. Peace. All right, I'll see you around, Connor. Peace. I do look forward to September 8th because, you actually get to see players who matter. You get to analyze shit. And y'all get to see me react to stuff, too. Because here's the thing, you're seeing me, analyze and maybe a little bit of reaction from me right now. But it's not I'm not going to get big and excited about stuff like this. But, you'll see some reactions in the regular season. If the Bengals are good, I'm going to be happy. I'm looking forward to that. If the Bengals are bad, then you're going to see a very entertaining version of me. and frankly, honestly, if the Bengals are bad, I'll probably get more subs. I was talking about potentially monetizing this channel here relatively soon. And if the Bengals are bad, that might help with that, right? And honestly, if the Bengals are bad, I'll probably also, just because I won't have as much to talk about with the Bengals, I might put out more general NFL videos too, which will probably help with the overall channel as well. So we'll see. I hope they're not bad though. I even for the sake of my channel, I'm positive even if the Bengals are good that I'm thinking, I'm projecting based off of what I'm seeing that at least by week 8, I'm thinking that I'll have enough going on to get monetized. But I really don't know. With school, who knows how that could affect my schedule and ability to put content out. But I think we'll be able to do pretty good. And yeah, but even if that's not the case, I wouldn't trade that for the Bengals being bad. I wouldn't. I like this. I care about this channel. I love this channel, but I want the Bengals to do well better than I want the Bengals to perform well. Yeah. Wait, no, okay, wait, hold on. I want the Bengals to perform well more than I want the channel to do well, right? I don't want the Bengals to be bad for the sake of my channel. I don't. I guess unless if the Bengals have one bad season and suddenly I skyrocket to Tom Grossi level of the channel doing that well, then maybe I would trade the Bengals being bad for a season for that. But for the most part now, I just rather the Bengals do well because it's going to be a slow climb for me either way. All right, so the field goal is up and that is good. Colts are in the lead 20-7. And it's going to be another blowout type loss for the Cincinnati Bengals guys who aren't making the roster anyway. So, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot of dumbass Bengals fans who are going to complain about it and be like, well, can't we win anything? I want to win a game. And not realizing, again, that the guys playing most of the snaps in these games are not going to be on NFL rosters during the season. So, what do you expect out of them? Yeah, guy from Washington. Stream Saints Panthers. All right. September 8th. That'll be my next stream. The Saints are bad. The hurricane is coming out. Well, you'll see something out of me, I'll tell you that. What up, James? What's up, James? Good to see you, James. Very happy to see you. Did anyone that matters play at all? Not really. I mean, yes, like Jermaine Burton played pretty well, by the way. So once again, Jermaine Burton shows that he's going to be a fucking stud. So yes, Jermaine Burton played quite well, and he matters. Let's see, who else earlier in the game? Which by the way, for those of you who are just showing up, I actually missed the first 10 minutes of the game because I had internet issues. So, I didn't see a lot of the first beginnings of the game. But let's see. So you had, it's basically a bunch of nobodies the entire game. Jermaine Burton was playing. And as far as I can remember, as far as people who made any sort of impact, Jermaine Burton is about the only one I can think of who's made any sort of impact, who's actually going to matter. So there's that. The Reds have desensitized Cincy fans. Well, not me. Not me, James. You know why? Because you can't get upset with something if you don't pay any attention. Because baseball. Because baseball. You know what? I do like soccer, and I follow FC Cincinnati, and they're pretty exciting. I mean, they haven't gotten over the hump yet, but they're fun to watch. So there's that. Yeah. You can't get hurt if you don't watch. One day I'm gonna get into baseball. I'm from Cincinnati. I have to like it at some point, right? One day I'm gonna get into baseball. And it's there are times when I'm able to get myself into baseball. This weird return rule again gets it to 25. Oh, he's got a lane down to about the 40-yard line. So that's a pretty good return there by what was that, Kwame Lassiter, I think. Pretty good return. So again, not that any of it matters, especially now with the game 20-7, but got into rugby. Dude, rugby. I want to get into rugby. Because when I was when I was going to the UK, we had this on my study abroad, we had this weekend where we were just free to do whatever we wanted. So I took a trip to Wales, and I went to this pub and just had a drink and kind of sat down. I didn't go with anybody, so I was just kind of watching whatever they had on. Logan Woodside throws over the middle. Cam Grandy catches it. 6-yard pass. Whoopee. But anyway, I was in this pub in Wales, in Aberystwyth, Wales. One beautiful city. I absolutely recommend it more than just about anything. It's one of the greatest cities I've ever been to, Aberystwyth, Wales. It was amazing. But anyway, I went to this pub and I got a couple beers, and I think I got a Welsh rarebit too. Which is this cheese on toast type of thing. It's pretty interesting. But they had rugby on. And I mean, I've seen rugby before, but I've never sat down and watched a rugby game. And I watched rugby, and I'm just what the hell is going on? Because I'm sitting here watching it from a football perspective. And there's some football-like things happening, but they're also all piling on this guy, and the ball gets snapped without them they don't reset their places. They just kind of snap the ball while everybody's still piled on top of the guy. And I'm just sitting here what the hell is going on? It was hilarious. Big run there by Travion Williams, by the way, on 3rd and 1. So that's a first down. Good to see him playing. Travion Williams has played well. And Travion Williams, by the way, to answer your question earlier, Jeff, Travion Williams matters a little bit because he's most likely going to be the 3rd string running back. And, he'll probably get some snaps in the regular season. He might, he might contribute in a genuinely meaningful way at some point in the season. So, seeing him play well is good. But yeah, dude, rugby is insane. And I watched it in Wales, and it was what is happening? It was insane. Logan Woodside gets hit on the play, but he manages to get it to Travion Williams for about a 6-yard gain. So, hey, Travion Williams and Jermaine Burton. That's what you can take away positively from this game. Those guys look good. Everybody else looks bad. Everybody on the Bengals, everybody on the periphery of the Bengals looks bad this week, except Jermaine Burton, who I'm not entirely sure he counts as being on the periphery, and Travion Williams. As long as we all agree the Saints have a great top 5 defense. Okay, Mikey. I don't. Okay. Okay, you do you, buddy. Travion Williams barrels forward for about a 5-yard gain. It's going to be another first down. I need sports all year round. Dude, I love sports all year round. The problem is during the spring, I find it hard to get into baseball. But I do have soccer. And ever since soccer came to Cincinnati, that's been something I can do. I can pay attention to soccer. It's hard because like I am a Manchester City fan. So I like watching their games. It's so hard to watch overseas games from here in America because there's not really any networks that carry it. Like you can find it like a pirated stream online, but that's about it as far as watching these games. But you know, I've got soccer, so I'm very close to having sports all year round. Baseball, if I got into baseball, that would probably solve it. But I'm telling you, man, I've tried. Patriots, Chiefs, Commanders, Panthers. That's an interesting lineup. So we've got 3 easy games in theory with the Patriots, Commanders, and Panthers. But then we also got the Chiefs in week 2. So I will say though, if the Chiefs are anything like they were last year, and the way they really kind of have been for the last few years, they might not be so great in week 2. But then again, the Bengals haven't been great in week 2 either. So you know something's going to have to give there. Either the Chiefs or the Bengals are going to have to win that game. So. I don't know, but hey, maybe a potential thing. If Joe Burrow is healthy and the whole, starting team, aside from a few players, is healthy in week 1 and particularly in week 2, and then they're in a good rhythm, maybe they can get one over on the Chiefs early in the season, and then they'll have that over them the rest of the season. Whoa! What a pass! But that was a great shoulder end zone fade pass by Logan Woodside, but an even better tracking effort by Jermaine Burton to go up and get that touchdown catch. Man, dude, Jermaine Burton is gonna be a stud. Like, I am telling you guys, you gotta watch out for this Jermaine Burton guy. I am telling you guys right now, Jermaine, like, I'm even surprised that I'm getting this interested in something happening in the preseason. But dude, Jermaine Burton, this kid is gonna be special. I tell you something right now. This boy is impressive. I tell you that right now. I'm starting to speak with a bit of a southern accent. I'm not even from the South. I mean, my whole family is, and that's probably where it comes from. But dude, this Jermaine Burton kid, man, I tell you what, like, I know he had some character concerns, but he is talented. Holy crap. Dude, I pray to God we figure out the situation with Jamar Chase, because having Chase and Higgins and Burton, I miss Tyler Boyd. He did great things for us, but I mean, Jermaine Burton's just such a different dynamic. Dude, this kid is something else. Holy crap. What a play by Jermaine Burton there. What a play. Let's go Bengals. Dude, I'm really not getting all that excited about something happening in the preseason, except for that, because dude, that is a preview of some crazy shit. Imagine when he has Joe Burrow throwing him the ball. Can you imagine? Good God. I'm starting to lose my voice in the preseason. What? All right, let's bring it back down to earth now. I'm a Nola Gold fan. Yeah. Well. Have you AFL from Australia? No, we don't get Australian rules football here. I mean, I've heard of it. I think I've even seen it played before, but no, we don't get it around here. Like, I think it's been on TV every great once in a while, but no, I can't consistently get it. Might be interesting though, because like rugby's interesting, and from what I understand, Australian rules football is similar-ish to rugby. So I don't know. I might check it out. One game I have been getting into, which oddly enough, because like as much as I rail against hockey, one game I have been getting into is called Shinty. It's like the closest comparison I can give you is basically field hockey, but it's from the Scottish. It's a sport from the Scottish Highlands, and what it looks like is I keep explaining it to people as it's just angry golf. Is what it is. Like golf being the other sport and the much more popular sport that Scotland invented. And shinty, it's field hockey. But the way they like drive the ball constantly looks a lot like the way that golfers would swing. And so and they're constantly out there beating each other with sticks and everything. And so it just looks like angry golf. But it's really fun to watch, and like the production quality is always terrible because it's the Scottish Highlands and there's no money in it. But it's a really interesting game. If you ever get a chance, I'd recommend looking up watching shinty. Shinty's pretty cool. Had a gold player come to my school, and my other mom played rugby. Dude, rugby is an insane game. Rugby is an insane game. And you know what else is insane? The complete inability for guys who are lucky to be in the NFL to defend against kickoff returns and special teams. Colts get it out to the 40 on that one. So Cincinnati is the north, but Kentucky is the south. Kinda, technically. Now, like, it depends on how you define the south, right? Because, like in the Civil War, Kentucky was, it was a border state, but it was a Union state. They weren't part of the Confederacy. But they also, there's a lot of more southern accents in Kentucky. Like, in Ohio, you get very much more of that Midwesty type of accent. But as soon as you cross the border into Kentucky, it's very much like an Appalachian, very like, the stereotypical, like, mid-South accent that's, got a very long, drawling, but also very kind of harsh, like, how y'all doing? That's Kentucky, Especially a lot of my family's from, like, really deep Appalachia, Kentucky, where, I mean, to the point where, like, I almost can't understand what, like, I got an uncle named Swinney. That should tell you right there how deep Appalachia is. His name's Uncle Swinney. And I can barely understand what that man's saying, honestly. It's hilarious, though. It's wonderful. I love them to death. Bengals get a backfield stop there. That's pretty good. But yeah, so I mean, like, culturally, Kentucky's part of the South. Whether it's actually technically part of the South, just really, I guess, depends on how you define the South, because it wasn't part of the Confederacy. But it does also generally kind of politically, like as far as politics go, it generally kind of like leans whichever way the South typically votes. Kentucky usually also tends to vote that way. Culturally, there's a lot of like Southern culture going on there. So it's kind of, Kentucky's generally, I think, most people consider the South. Cincinnati is, I think, Alan George undoing all the goodwill, letting a big pass like that go. About an 11-yard pass from Keaton Slovis there, by the way. But yeah, in Kentucky, there's so much. There's a lot of like stuff that's like Southern culture there. It feels more like the South in Kentucky, and in Ohio, in Cincinnati, it's got a bit of a blend. It's a very Southern feeling Northern city, but it's definitely not. No, I don't know. Nobody considers Cincinnati to be a Southern city. Like, back before the Civil War, Cincinnati was like kind of like the gateway city to the North for like, slaves who were escaping like the South. Cincinnati was like a big one of those like hub cities. Like if you make it to Cincinnati, you're probably going to be okay. What you really want to do is make it to Canada, but if you make it to Cincinnati, you got a pretty good shot. So, there's a mix. There's a little bit of a mixing of Southern culture here. It's pretty strong in Kentucky. I just don't know if people necessarily consider it the South. Although I gotta say, my favorite college team, the University of Kentucky, they play in the Southeastern Conference, so the SEC. So, I mean, they're definitely tied to the South, if not necessarily part of the South. It's definitely Appalachia, though. Definitely Appalachia. Not J.D. Vance's Appalachia, which Middletown is not Appalachia. Now, I'm not trying to get political on this channel. I'm from Ohio. I know a lot about Middletown, and it gets on my nerves when people from those areas try to act like they're something like they're not. Like when I grew up in in Coleraine, Ohio. Like the next county over is Ross, and it is the most like country county of all time. But and Coleraine is not country at all. But people I grew up with try to be like, I'm from the country, I love trucks and guns and hunting and stuff, and I'm like, dude, you're not from the country, you're from Coleraine. But then people from Ross are like, they're always acting like they're from the ghetto and everything like that. And it's like, no, dude, you're not. Stop it. You like that's not what. Stop it. Like it gets on my nerves when people try to act like they're something they're not, and they try to appropriate a culture that they view as more desirable for whatever reason than them, and that's what this Middletown shit. Like Middletown is not an interesting place at all. It's a shitty Midwestern town that's fallen apart, and it's nothing to do with Appalachia. So I'm not even trying to say anything political. I'm just saying, like, let's stop trying to like pretend to be things that we're not. But I'll stop talking about JD Vance now. We have a disc golf community here. That's pretty cool. Do you think Matthew Stafford has another Super Bowl in him? No. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully not against the Bengals. God, that still kind of pisses me off to some extent. Like, again, I'm happy that we made it, but it still hurts that we lost, But as far as another one, I don't know. I don't think the Rams have another one, if that makes any sense. Like, JD Vance. I gotta get politics off the brain, guys. Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford potentially could have another one. I could potentially see Matthew Stafford getting it done, but not the Rams. I don't think the Rams would win another Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm sure. I know you were rooting against the Rams. Like, I know you also were probably to some extent rooting for Joe Burrow and maybe the Bengals even to some extent. The Bengals were kind of like up and down in popularity that year, but definitely not. I know you didn't want to see the Rams win for Rams related reasons. Well, there's another helmet coming off there. 37's fired up about that 4-yard gain there. PJ Jules like, oh yeah, I hit him hard. Yeah, great, awesome. You still allowed a 4-yard run. Like, what are you getting all that excited about, bro? You're in the NFC South. No, Mikey, you are in New Orleans. You're not in the NFC South. Your favorite team is in the NFC South. LSU's in the SEC. Yes, they are. Yeah. Okay. Look. No, okay. First of all, nobody's arguing that Louisiana is definitely in the South. I don't think anybody would argue that Louisiana is not in the South. It definitely is. This is the best content. That's good, Jeff. Yeah, that's good. Why are the costs in this? Oh, the Colts. Probably the Colts is what you mean there. In the AFC South. Well, frankly, Jeff, because divisions are stupid. And also, so is the Bengals defense, by the way. Touchdown for the Colts, just completely let a guy get loose. And yeah, so like, but again, none of these guys are making the roster anyway, so whatever. Whatever. All right, Colts are back on the board, 26-13, and I'm about ready for bed. I don't know about you. I'm about ready for bed. Rams versus Bengals rematch is likely. Nakua is a serious contender. I don't think so, James. And Nakua is a really good player. I think they've got talent. But I don't like their defense enough in Los Angeles. I think they're probably. I think the Rams might be competitive, but I don't think that they're going to be like unseating the 49ers anytime soon. So they're going to be competing for wild card spots, and those things get competitive, So, we'll see. I don't see the Rams competing for a Super Bowl again with Matthew Stafford, and it's not a Matthew Stafford thing. I think the Rams sold everything that they like. I think they basically sold their souls to win that Super Bowl. By which I mean they sold all their draft picks. They were like, we're gonna win now. We're gonna do everything we can to win right now. and that's it. Which is valid because they did win a Super Bowl, so it worked out just fine for them. But the problem is, they took a bet. If they hadn't won the Super Bowl that year, it would have been tough. And I think it's going to be a while before they're truly competitive to go win a Super Bowl again. But I mean, I don't know. If they put the right team around Matt Stafford, yeah, I think Matt Stafford could win another Super Bowl. Just again, I hope it's not at the Bengals' expense. Beating the Falcons in Madden 31-0. There you go, Mikey. I need to make a upgrade to my PC before I play Madden again because any of the sports games I'm playing, oh my god, what a terrible return. Got it to the 15-yard line. Dude, I think they've just given up at this point. Like, I made a commitment to you guys to make it to 0-0-0 for every game, except for like crazy extenuating circumstances. I don't know if I've ever had to institute that. But, I mean, if I have to go for some reason before a game's over and the game's basically dead, I might exercise that one day. But, hey, we got Gen Z Boomer Sison in there, Rocky Lombardi. Let's see if he can do anything. No, he's just going to kneel. Okay. So they're saying game over, which is fine with me. But I'm still going to sit here till 0-0-0 because that's my commitment to you guys. I'm going to be here till it says 0-0-0. We're going to make it through the whole game every time. Again, unless some sort of emergency comes up, then I'm going to have to do what I'm going to have to do. But for the most, like in pretty much any circumstance, I'm going to be here till it says 0-0-0 no matter how much of a blowout it is. We're going to be here the whole time. But I'm not going to lie. Right now, like, you know, a game like this is the type where, like, I really feel tempted not to follow through with that. But we're going to do it. We're going to be here. They should do something besides this. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if you're not going to... Like, if you're just going to play, like, back of the roster guys anyway, maybe don't play a full preseason game. Because, like, I don't want to watch like, this entire fourth quarter has just been pointless. Just been uninteresting. Like... Maybe play a half of football in the preseason, right? And so that way you're satisfying both sides. The coaches and the teams get a chance to get the players ready for the season, and they also get some more TV revenue just to kind of milk that a little bit. But the players also win because they don't put as much strain on their bodies, and then we as the fans win because we're not subjected to games like this. Maybe they should do that. I mean, I understand why they have preseason, but maybe the preseason should be changed to something else, like just something else. I agree with your comment here. They should do something besides this. Like, just not this. Please not this. Okay, well, the game is over now. 27-14, by the way. Ooh, I was not good about keeping up with that. Hold on. 27-14. Okay. There we go. They should do something besides this, Jeff. I don't know. But I'm going to do something besides this, which is go to bed. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to bed. I might be up for a little bit. I don't know. But, I'm not going to be here. When will I post my video? Which one? The defensive video? I don't have an exact date right now. I don't know if you saw, Jeff. I did post a video earlier today. Basically my prediction for the Bengals offensive roster. I did put that up. I'll see you in a couple weeks, James. To be clear, I am going to be putting out another video. So August 27th is cuts. I'm going to be putting out a defensive video before the cut date, and I might do something else. I'm not sure. I'm not saying I will. I don't want to commit to that. We got 485 subscribers. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's what, like 485 subscribers. That's 15 away from 500. So that's doing pretty good. Did not see it, but watch it after this. Yeah, that's up right now. So go check that out. I'll be coming out with the defensive video. I don't know exactly when that's coming out, but it'll definitely be out by, I'm gonna guess, and don't hold me to this. I'm gonna guess Monday. I'm going to guess probably Monday around 5 p.m. That way it has a day before Cuts Day actually comes in. Because I'm telling, I promise you, I'm not going to be able to get it out by tomorrow morning. I don't think I'm going to do it this weekend because like I'm busy on Saturday helping my buddy move, and then I don't know if I'm gonna have. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it out quickly enough on a Sunday to get it out. So I'm guessing it'll probably come out Monday, because if there's no point in it coming out on Tuesday. And then after that, the first Bengals game is 2 weeks from Sunday, so that'll be my next live stream. Will be the Bengals Patriots game. And then I might do something for in that 2 week interim period. I might about 2 week interim period. I might put out another video. I might not. I'm not sure yet. But I can tell you one thing I'm not going to be doing. It's going to be streaming another preseason game. Thank God. But we accomplished what we set out to accomplish for the preseason. We worked out all the kinks. I've got all my technical issues taken care of. We've got this chat feature figured out now. It's colored weirdly. I'm gonna see if I can fix that, but at least it works, right? At least it works, and that's kind of my perspective on all of this. Like everything's working now, and it wasn't working when we first started. So we've got everything working, and hopefully it'll just work for the rest of the season, and we'll be fine. And like I said, I'll try to come out with. I'll definitely come out with a defensive video. As far as like anything beyond that, I'm gonna try to come out with another piece of content, but we'll see. It depends on the way, because school starts up on the 26th, so it depends on what I can do, right? But we will. I know what I want to do. I want to put out a season prediction video, right? I'm going to predict the Bengals like record and like go through the games and kind of. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so there you go. That's what's going to come out between now and the 8th is the defensive roster predictions here in a few days, and then I'm going to like predict every game of the season for the Bengals and what their final record's going to be. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to commit to doing. I don't know what day that second video is going to come out, but it'll come out before the 8th. So that's where I'm at. And that's pretty much it for me tonight. So Jeff, you may be the only one still watching. I don't even know if you're still watching at this point, but no, you probably still are at this point. But like, I think everybody else has left by now. But yeah, that's okay. I'm going to go to bed. I appreciate everybody showing up. Bengals have had a pretty rough-looking preseason if you care about the final score, but I don't, personally. I'm pretty happy with what I saw in the preseason because the starters looked good for the little bit of time they played, and the first backups looked good. The third and fourth string guys looked really bad except for a few guys here and there, but a lot of the most important guys looked really good this offseason, this preseason, and we only had one really big major injury, which was Miles Murphy, who's probably going to, I'm guessing the earliest he'd be back is week 3, so that's unfortunate that that he's going to be out for a little bit, but hopefully that doesn't affect him too much as far as his trajectory goes, and other than that, we generally, knock on wood, because, the season isn't here yet, but it looks like we've generally managed to avoid any big, major problematic injuries. Amarius Mims is another one who picked up a little bit, but I don't even think it's really that big of a deal. It sounds like it's just a minor thing that they're going to figure out. So, overall, I would say if you actually look at what happened and don't just focus on the scores, it was actually a relatively successful preseason for the Bengals. I'm happy with the way it went. I don't care that they lost in blowout fashion in 2 of the 3 games, and this isn't even a blowout. This is just not great. Seth Messersmith, I haven't seen you in a minute, bro. What's up? Bengals been bad lately, but KC is playing bad. Yeah, but it's preseason. Like, I mean, I would say nothing I'm all ready to, take the first bad step that the Chiefs take and be like, "Oh, look, the Chiefs are going to be bad." Like, I'm the first guy on board when I see an opportunity to tell you how the Chiefs are going to be bad, right? But it's preseason. Like, I wouldn't read too much into that. Same with the Bengals. Again, if you look at the final scores, the Bengals had a bad preseason. But if you look at what actually happened, the starters looked good and the backups looked good. And it was the third and fourth stringers that looked really bad. And I don't care about those guys because they're probably not going to make the roster anyway. So I don't care. I don't care. And I'm not even saying that you care, Seth. But I know there's a lot of Bengals fans who are going to piss me off, particularly on Facebook, who are going to be like, "Why are they looking so bad?" It's because, bro, it's preseason. Shut up. Is Taylor Swift going to be at all the KC games? Probably. I really wish. Okay, here's the thing. I wish Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were very, very happy together. And I'm even fine with Taylor Swift, getting media coverage. That's fine. But can we do it separately from the game itself? Maybe before and after the game, we can have some mention of, especially if Taylor Swift gets into football and starts talking about football, maybe Taylor Swift can have some things to say about football. I'm not trying to say that Taylor Swift or even Taylor Swift fans, or even if you say anything negative about Taylor Swift, apparently you're a misogynist, So I'm not even trying to say anything negative about Taylor Swift or women or whatever necessarily. I just wish we'd focus a little bit more on football and less about, the personal relationships that players are in, particularly when they're dating a celebrity, That's all I'm saying. I don't give a shit if it's Taylor Swift or whatever. I wish we'd talk more about football and less about gossip. That's all I'm saying, But yeah, she'll probably be at the KC games, and they'll probably have a camera on, unless Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, unless maybe she has something else to do that day, and then the media are probably going to be like, "Oh, are Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce fighting?" And you see, and that's what I'm saying right there. That's the stuff that pisses me off just as much. It's not an anti-Taylor Swift thing. It's just I don't want to talk about Travis Kelce's dating life thing. That's the part that gets on my nerves. It's not. I don't care about Taylor Swift. But I care even less about Travis Kelce's dating life at all. I don't. I do not care. I really don't. Anyway. I don't watch preseason that much. I do. I do watch preseason, but I don't typically, the only reason I'm streaming it, though, here's the thing. If I was just watching it on my own, I'd probably be doing something else, and I'd have it on the side, and I'd be, glancing over every once in a while, seeing what's going on. But I do watch preseason. But the reason I'm streaming this isn't because I'm expecting, a big, a shit ton of people to show up and be like, "Wow, what's going on with this preseason game?" Oh, about Taylor Swift? Okay, that's fair enough. But the reason The reason I do these preseason games is so I can get ready for streaming the regular season. Because, I need to get myself back into the flow. That first week, and you can even see in this week, I've got a lot of dead space because I don't really know a whole lot what to say just yet. I'm not ready for the regular season. The only way to get ready for the regular season is to do these streams and get prepared. So, the preseason games aren't interesting. And I'm really, frankly, not expecting. I don't really expect anybody to show up. The fact that we had 5 individual different people in the chat today. That's I wouldn't show up for that personally. I'm glad you guys do. But for me, it's just about it's partially it's about interacting with you guys because I like talking to you guys, but a lot of it's just getting ready. I missed the first 10 minutes of the stream because I had technical issues. Week 1, I had to get the microphone set up and the video to actually be working and everything. Week 2, there were some graphical interface things that I had to make sure got set up. This week, it's finalizing, making sure the comments thing works, and even then, the colors is still weird, and that's not the way I like to have it colored because of brand recognition and everything. But I guess as long as it's working, then that's fine. Hopefully I can get that fixed too. But it's making sure all the kinks that are worked out. That way, when the regular season gets here, we have a smooth product, and it actually is a good thing. Like you guys are showing up, and I'm putting out a quality product, and it's not just I want to put out a good product for you guys, right? Because like I feel like I don't want to do this if I'm not putting my best effort into it, And I don't really feel like I'm necessarily putting my best effort into the preseason, but I'm also not doing it for the content. I'm doing it to prepare and practice for the real content, right? If that makes any sense. So, 49ers Jets is a great match. Is it? Why is it a great matchup? I feel like any matchup involving the Jets is a bad matchup. Unless it's because of like Aaron Rodgers. If you're like excited about like Aaron Rodgers going up against like, the boogeyman of the 49ers, who also was like his childhood favorite team. So maybe that's an interesting dynamic. But other than that, the Jets are not to me an interesting team at all. But anyway, yes, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I figured it'd be Aaron Rodgers. But anyway, I'm getting out of here. I am tired, and my voice is getting a little sore at this point, which I didn't expect out of a preseason game. But there was some interesting, like Jermaine Burton. I'm so excited about Jermaine Burton, dude. He looks so good. Man, I really hope they figure it out with Jamar Chase, because like Jamar and T and Burton all together, that's going to be special if they can make that happen. I really, really hope they do. But anyway, I'm going to head out. Seth, I think you're the only person left at this point. Jeff, you might still actually be here too. So both of y'all know where to find me. I think you're both subscribed anyway. But if anybody else happens to be listening, feel free to subscribe. I'm 15 subs away from 500, which is the magical monetization mark. And as soon as I can start making some money off of this channel, I can commit to doing it more often. And I mean, I don't need to make money off of this channel. Frankly, like I have fun doing it, and that's why I do it. But if I can make money off of it, then that means I don't have to spend time doing other things to make money to pay my bills, right? So it's just kind of nice to see that potentially being a thing. Now, it's probably not even going to be that much money at first. I don't even think I get AdSense revenue at first. But it's something that might help this channel be a little bit more of a contender, right? So we're so close to that. We're so close, and I'd love to see it. So for anybody who's watching now and anybody who might watch this later, feel free to subscribe, tell other people about it. We'll have this whole thing going. And I am going to leave y'all. The Bengals do play in Week 1 against the Patriots, September 8th. Check it out. I'll be here. I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hoo-day!